Had this amazing theme tune. Like, oh yeah,
But they
I was
weren't
about that life.
They're not called Ninja Turtles over there, right?
Yeah,
Pardon?
They're not called Ninja Turtles,
in
right?
the UK. It's called the Hero
Teenage
Turtles.
Mutant Ninja Turtles over here, yeah.
It is called
Or
Ninja
Hero
Turtles?
I think it was Hero Turtles.
Hero Turtles.
Hero
yes.
Turtles.
Yeah,
Yes.
it had this song like Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yes, yeah. Cheers, whether it's a beer, a shot, or even a glass of wine, grab your favorite beverage, and welcome to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast. We are your hosts, Algie857.
The 23rd Stallion.
Sticks.
Turbo 857.
And your boy Big Chop, what up?
Yeah.
What? Turbo? What? Turbo? I'm next?
No.
All right.
Yeah,
wow. I thought he was going to do more of the intro.
Really?
All right. Silence, everybody. Silence, everybody. We have a very special guest in the house tonight. Senior producer of No More Robots. Founder of Women Making Games Northeast. So if you're a woman in the Northeast making games, she's already found you.
I found you. You're here.
She's already found him. The CEO of Silent Games, the one, the only, Sally Blake.
Hey! All right. All right.
Thank you. That was a wonderful intro. Made it sound much cooler than it
A
is.
little delayed, but all right.
You know what the best part was? When he didn't do the intro, we all looked at him. He said like this. Yeah. Like he stole something. Like, what did I do? He said, what did I do? What?
And he was like, what?
I thought
Like we were crazy.
yeah.
Welcome to the show, Sal. Good to have you on.
All right. Well, like every podcast, we always start off with the games we've been playing.
But first, I want to shout out the chat, too.
Oh,
What's going on in the chat? What's
What's
up, y'all?
Big
going
up to the
on?
chat.
What's up?
We got Chalk here
going on?
responding to everybody in the chat, y'all.
Yes.
yes.
That's
Any
me.
questions, hit them up.
All right.
Extra chocolate.
So y'all ready for the show? Let's get it on.
I'm ready for the show.
Who wants to start?
All right, we're going to talk about games that we played this week, and I can start. I mean, I only played one game.
Oh, that's easy. That's quick.
Wow.
Yeah. So the sequel, the what is it? The Bloodstained sequel that y'all playing. The
Curse of the Moon.
Curse
Curse of the Moon 2.
Oh, you've been playing it.
I beat the first the first
Episode.
episodes. Yes, there's 3 episodes, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I went through the whole first part, and
How'd you like it?
it's dope. It's dope. I mean, I'm the Bloodstained guy, man. I played the first 2. I gotta get the sequel going.
Early.
Who's your
Jack-
Who's your character?
I just used whoever I had knew, basically.
Oh, really?
Each stage was like pertaining to them, but
Unique. Yeah.
yeah. So most of the time, that stupid dog I use a lot too.
He's a good
'Cause it's
character, man. He's a good character.
There's a dog.
Dominique.
Yeah, there's a dog in a mech suit, and I didn't know it was a dog for a while until he popped out.
That's the one I would pick. You've got to go with a dog in a mech suit. Anything else is just second to that, obviously.
It's a very weird
it's so
character.
random, but it's like one of the best characters in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's getting a little harder, but it's nothing crazy yet. 1 player, I mean 2 players probably.
Wait till you
more
play
difficult.
episode 2 without
yeah.
a certain character.
I'll get there. Well, I know something's wrong, but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, that was probably my favorite character, the one with the DuckTales jump, the chick.
Wow.
Oh, Dominique
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the,
yeah.
with the underthrust. Yeah.
Yes, that might have been my favorite
She's
That was
character.
my favorite character, yeah.
Yeah,
She's good.
but yeah, that's all I've been playing. It's interesting.
I've also been playing only one game.
Yeah, one game, people. Yeah.
It's,
I like
it's rare
one
for
game.
me, but I've been very busy behind the scenes. So
Yes, you have.
Tetris, the original Tetris Game Boy. on the Game
Oh,
Boy,
for
yeah.
the original
The
game.
original
Classic.
classic Tetris on the Game Boy.
The
Yeah, I've been playing a
green
lot.
one.
Wow.
Yeah,
the
bringing it back.
green one.
The green.
Trying to get.
The world record.
No, I'm not getting anywhere close to that. I'm not nowhere close. It's tough, man. It's just you're not able to hold any pieces back. It once you get past like the halfway point, everything sticks and you just lose.
I'm Sticks.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh,
I knew you were
man.
going to say that.
I saw that
Like
coming.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Jump
Coming.
right.
I caught it though.
Jump right
I
into
saw
that.
that coming.
Well played, Jay.
You're
well
talking.
played.
You're talking to a world former world champion, right?
Nah, he's still
The world
current.
record
holder.
He's
No,
still
no.
current. Just
He's
No,
the-
no.
Yeah, the
I
world
check.
record?
I check my. Yeah,
It's gone now.
It's gone.
Oh, they gave it to
Yeah.
him. They gave it to that guy.
Yeah, they
Oh,
gave it to
okay,
the guy.
okay.
Yeah, and like 2
Oh,
more.
oh, 2
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, yeah.
But you did
Yeah,
have
my
it for
score.
almost a year.
Well, half a year.
Yeah, okay. That counts.
I held
that
the
counts
record
as a
for
record.
while.
That
Yeah,
counts.
It does. It
Counts.
does.
That totally counts. Definitely.
Yeah, but
So now you can
Yeah.
say you're truly one of the best Tetris players in the world. Recorded today.
At one point,
Yeah, yo, that matters though, man.
Exactly.
Yo, that
in
still matters.
2018,
Dude, I would mention that every intro. You should mention that intro. Former world record. Yeah.
Or you could do just be like Shane
From
McMahon,
May,
just like, one of the best in the world.
Should. That's what I would do.
but yeah, Tetris is my favorite game, and that's all I've been playing, man.
Okay.
I want to play more stuff, but no time.
Canada's in the house in the chat.
What up, Canada?
What's going on?
Canada, Montreal.
Montreal all day. Love Montreal.
Mark says hi from Twitter, Sally.
Oh, hello, Mark. Thank you for watching.
At
That's super
Colonel
nice of you to come
Garraway.
and say hello.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I'll go next. I beat the campaign for Star Wars Battlefront 2. I've been addicted to that game. So
You've been really
You
talking about
finally
that a
beat it.
lot. You really like that game.
Finally
Yo,
beat it.
the production value for the Star Wars game, man. I love a good Star Wars game.
Nice.
I really do. And I'm past the controversy. Download the game for free. All the DLC is in there. It's like I'm like a new fan that could appreciate the game without the BS. You know, and it's a really good game. Really good game.
Is it a co-op at all or no?
The arcade mode's co-op. Yeah, the arcade mode's co-op.
Interesting that is.
So if you're a late adopter,
Yes.
wow, did you just do it?
That was a good Yoda.
That was good, right? That was good, Yoda. Thank you. Don't do that. Don't
It was
do
better
that.
than my
No,
Yoda.
don't do that again.
Do not.
Oh
boy.
Oh man, that is
boy.
Okay,
Back
cut
away.
his mic.
Back
Shout out
So
to
forget-
Just Gaming in the chat.
So forget the
What up,
controls.
Just
Tuning in
Gaming?
from Iran.
Iran.
Hey,
in the
Ren.
house.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, wow.
World podcast.
I
right
like
now.
this.
Exactly.
Yes.
United Nations.
Yeah.
So now you can finally play Nier, right? Since you beat that, you can finally play Nier.
I'm near to playing Nier.
Oh,
I
boy.
know-
I'm very
I knew
near.
he
I'm
was
very
gonna
near
say
to
that.
playing Nier.
Jay, you
or,
knew.
or Bloodborne. You gonna
Bloodborne,
play,
very
you know?
close to playing
Wait,
Bloodborne
Kev.
too.
So
Never.
did you?
Never playing it.
Well, he's got Shenmue 3 too. They didn't start.
He's
I'm
never
gonna start. It's gonna be one of those three. It might be
Dude, your
Shenmue 3.
backlog is serious.
He's not playing any.
It really is.
Your
It really
backlog
is.
is serious,
No.
dude.
Did you hold on? Did you beat the other Star Wars game that you were playing?
Yeah, that's a Fallen Order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I beat that a while ago.
I was just curious.
Great end scene. Great end scene, man. It really is.
I gotta get around to that.
Yeah, it's a great game. But I wasn't done playing. I played more than that, but I'll go through them real fast. Treasure Trove with the King of Cards, Shovel Knight. Yeah, I played.
Oh,
Okay.
Is that an official sequel or is
Yes.
Expansion.
Okay.
Official expansion,
They've
just
been
like
expanding that for like 5 years.
that? They have. Yeah, they have.
It's a sequel, man.
just like the Plague Knight and the other guy. They're just expansions, but they're awesome.
They changed the whole
expansions. Yeah, and the whole game plays differently. You know, same assets and stuff like
Co-op?
that. But no. The only thing that's co-op was the Shovel Knight main campaign. That's the only thing that's co-op. All the other ones, no way. Let's see what else I play. Bloodstain. Ritual of the Night. I started playing that after we started playing the Curse
Okay.
of the Moon 2. And I started getting more into it, do an update. I put on my big TV screen. It plays 60 frames.
I know.
It's
There
got
it goes.
60,
I was
60
waiting.
frames on
Waiting for
Nintendo
it.
Switch. It was beautiful. I was like, yes, let me play some more of this game.
Play the unpatched one.
Nah, no.
It wasn't
Slower
the
that
same.
frame rate.
It wasn't the same.
A little tiny metal,
Play on
full
a-
metal rumble.
Play it on the CRT, man.
And those are the main ones. And Outrun. Yeah.
Outrun.
Yeah.
Wait, for
Sega Master
what?
System?
The Sega Ages one?
Sega Ages one, 60 frames. 60 frames.
come on,
Come on. It's the best version of Outrun there is, man.
So what happens when it's
Wow.
120 frames? You gonna start saying that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 120.
120
I,
frames.
I thought that was the name of the game. Outrun 60 frames. Outrun 60 frames.
I told
that a
you.
new one?
Outrun 60
No,
frames.
when I unlocked Outrun in Fist of North Star Lost Paradise, right? They had the original arcade one, wasn't 60 frames.
Because it was originally
So
in
it's
the
not
80s.
official.
Wasn't
It's not
very-
official.
Not
No, the official one, they enhanced it for the
It's not-
Sega Ages,
It's
man.
not
60
official.
frames.
It's not official.
I can't.
How about
That's all. I'm done.
I
Come
can't.
on,
done.
man.
I'm done.
Style. What you
I
playing?
can't.
Come on.
I'm playing 3. How many are you playing?
I played 3,
3? Okay, you go.
4, a little bit of
That's all I
4.
got.
I'll go next after you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Power Stone 2, throwing back to the Dreamcast.
Okay.
Playing Call of Duty and Gears of War, of course, and of course Dragon Ball. And I stole a fight from a living legend, and I'm only a Super Saiyan 3,
Really?
which is really
Really?
impressive. Yeah, because my battle powers are like 644,000. Theirs is at like 1 million.
Right.
So
Oh, and you won a
I
match.
won one round.
Oh, that counts.
yeah.
That's-
They beat me the other like 9 times, but it's okay.
As long as you
One
recorded
round.
that and you're
Okay.
posting that.
Nah. Dude, I
By the
would
way,
have played it every day.
By the way, Chuck, I finished designing the Power Stone 2 overlay. So we
Versus
can
this
get-
Sunday?
so we
And
can
it's
get
on.
so we can get the
And it's
verses
on.
going.
Okay.
Yeah. We have
Old
the,
school.
We have the Dreamcast over here set up. Ready to
It's
go.
going
Ready to
down.
I miss the Dreamcast so much. I
Oh,
loved that. My house got burgled and my Dreamcast got stolen, and that was like the worst. It was the worst thing. When I came home and it was just gone, I was like,
devastating.
oh my god. Because I played Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
And I played so much
Shadow.
of that. And my save data was gone, and I was like, I don't think I can survive this.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
I actually had a pet
That
hedgehog. Side note: I had a pet hedgehog named Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
Hissed at me. Oh,
yeah. He hated you.
he didn't like me at all. For no reason. Zero reason. Just did not like me at all.
Rest in peace, Shadow.
Sonic
Yeah.
Adventure 2, though, was so fun. I love that end fight and that song. At the end.
Oh, live and learn. Yeah.
Live and learn.
Yes,
I used to love that. You hate it, but
Those
I
songs
love
are-
it.
those songs
it was
are bad.
like so 90s.
Oh,
was.
I loved it.
There's a charm to it, though.
Oh, I
It's
love
like,
it.
It's cheesy, but
Yeah.
it's like
I don't know what era that music is from.
No,
That's
but
like
I don't know what that
80s,
is. I don't know what that is,
90s,
but-
something along.
I know it's not the same thing, but like Sonic Heroes, that end song, fire.
Was it like around the same
They
kind
keep
of...
the same type
Fire.
of music.
Yeah,
Dude,
they
it was-
usually
they
keep
keep-
the round.
they keep-
I
Yeah.
used to play that whenever I did cardio.
Yo,
Sonic Heroes was
I can't hate
so
on
good.
that. I can't hate
Hey,
on that.
man.
I
Song
can't
was
hate
so
on
good.
that.
Sonic Heroes was a good game, man.
It's a Transformers 1986 anime type feel. You know, those songs. I love that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome. Anything else you playing there, Mr. Chalk?
No, that's it.
Is it?
So copy and paste all questions
I know,
for
I
later.
know.
So, you guys, so
I'm
we'll
getting
have
them.
those. Yeah.
What am I playing? I am playing Ash of Gods for the Switch, strategy role player. I'm developing a love-hate for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big strategy role player fan, and if anyone's ever played Banner Saga, this is a direct. It's like the same thing, but Banner Saga had more charm to it, and it's just done better. I cared more about the story. This one's divided up into 3 characters you're playing as, and each character it's a different feel. You know, one character's overpowered, and you're just him the whole time battling like 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, and the other 2 you have a party with you. But I ran into an issue with one of the scenarios the other day, and I'm like, I'm getting tired of this game. Like I'm getting tired of this, and like my main characters are dying, like gone, like done.
Storyline
2 of them, story like done, legit done, and it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Damn.
I can go into why that's happening, but it's just I don't want to explain too much of the game because
Permadeath,
it just pissed me off. I'm like, this is not fun.
It's your fault. It's definitely your fault.
But probably is. But there's 9 chapters in the game, and I'm in the middle of the 6th one. So I'm like, you know what? I can get through this game. I'm gonna get through it, but I need to play another game while I'm doing it. I can't have this the only game I'm playing. So I bought Bloodstained Ritual of the Night for the Switch yesterday. Bought it yesterday. Played an hour and a half. What a game!
Told you.
That is a good game, dude. That is a awesome.
It feels like Symphony of the
It's like
Night, like a
the
modern
music,
Symphony of the
dude.
Night.
The music.
It's like
my
the same type of music.
The
Exactly.
music.
well, they had the same
Same composer, but it
Same
feels like
composer.
some of the songs are like the same.
Well, the same
I
composer.
forgot what part it was. I'm like, yo, did they just steal the exact track?
I thought
and,
so.
like just change it a little bit.
I thought one of them was. the
Oh
exact
my!
same thing.
It's so cool though. I really, really enjoy it. Like the powers and stuff like that. I'm into it. But
Told you.
it's a good change up because Ash of Gods was getting me mad. I'm like, I'm mad because the things that are happening is just dumb. I'm like, and not to go on about Ash of Gods, but let me give you an example of the nonsense. There's like one battle where you're fighting these guys, and they have a magician who uses the same fire spell all the time. And he always sits in the back, and he always just waits for me to make my move. Walks, kills 1 hit. I'm like, why is it 1 hit every time? Why am I dead in 1 hit every fight? Every fight I'm dead in 1 hit. I'm like, this is dumb. This is stupid.
Really?
It's not even, I'm down to 5 energies,
No.
8 energies. No, he waits. It's always the last guy to attack, too. So you think you set everything up. Oh, he can't attack me. No, he can attack you from the edge.
Right.
The edge of the damn freaking battlefield. He can go all the way down there. Dead. I'm like, this is stupid. It's not fun. There's no
build-
strategy.
You gotta build up your
sounds-
magic resistance.
Yo,
You know what?
dude.
It sounds like
They're one and the same. Defense and magic and defense are one and the same because when it happened on the other guy's scenario, they tried to do that, took away 0 because his defense is through the roof. But this one guy's scenario, every time, who's that guy who's the weakest? All right.
That's part of the strategy.
Well, it sounds a lot
You
like
know.
what happened to me in Battle Chases.
It's
It was the same-
complete.
almost the same thing.
It got me so mad.
Where
But
you're not fun. You're not having fun.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I have to,
The
that's
other
it.
scenarios
I
were
can't
fun,
finish.
but it's just
Right.
the one. So that's why I had to get Bloodstain. Bloodstain is a.
I can feel the rage through my screen. I can tell
Rage
that it's
quit.
not cool.
You know what? I should get a
I'm all the way over here and I can feel it.
I should get a camera on me while I'm playing it. It's like I'm like, just get this off because it's not making me happy
I
anymore.
want to zoom in on your face.
You should. The other game I'm playing, obviously, it's Smash Brothers. For once, I haven't had a bad time with it. Yeah, because that one week I was picking Marth a lot, and it's my best character, and he was my worst character. I was doing terrible for some reason. And then, when you're playing a competitive game, and there's one thing that you just keep messing up for some reason. Your timing's off.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the things that you're used to doing, you're like, why am I? It's not connecting anymore. What am I doing? I made one little adjustment. So I went from, he fell as low as like the 3 millions, the high 3 millions, and now he's my highest rated character. He's like 6,800,000. I'm almost
Almost at
elite.
7
He's
mil.
almost at elite.
Wow.
So like I went on I recorded all those matches too.
Save the best.
Thank God they have a you could record your matches in Smash Brothers because
Native to your Switch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I have a lot and they're going on the channel because the smack talking like I don't know if you play any competitive tournament type
I
games.
play Smash a little bit, but not competitively, just for fun, really. But I'm super competitive, so I try to avoid it because I get ragey and I'll just rage quit.
Yeah.
So,
So maybe I played you
Yeah,
before. You
yeah, you
rage
probably-
quit.
probably when I'm just like,
You probably.
no, I've got to not play this now. Rage quit.
No, but that kind of a game, Smash Brothers gets a type of anger out of me. I'm like, yo, this gets me mad. Like, because people will either be good at the game or they'll figure out an exploit and keep using it over and over.
Yeah, a lot of those players do.
Yeah,
That's
but-
online gaming.
yeah,
in
yeah,
general.
and everything. But when you beat one of them, you know what the new thing I've been doing, not to continue about Smash Bros, but the new thing I've been doing is whenever I beat someone who's like ranked way higher than me, I go and check his profile and I see he's played the game over 700 something hours. I'm like, I got only 250 on there. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? You spend every day playing this. I play this every now and then and I whip your butt. How you
That must
feel
hurt.
about that?
That
Yeah,
must
that
hurt.
must hurt now.
He's probably
must
so
hurt.
upset. It's
I
like
do the
the
same
worst
thing
day
to
of his
Jack.
life.
Yep. And then I go to bed happy. And that's it. I'm like, time to go to bed. I can't go to bed
That's
on the
when, you,
loss.
that's when you stop. You're just like, right, I'm
Yeah.
done
Yep,
for
exactly.
now.
Yeah.
Leave on a victory.
That's how I ended. I'm like, nope, you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
yeah.
Most people I kill, they play a lot more hours than
Yep,
I do.
way
I only
more.
had like 250 in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I only got like 250. I play it often enough, to keep my characters up and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. You can play 1,000,000. You come against me and I got the sword in my hand. I'm smacking somebody in the head.
Okay, and now moving on.
Wow.
Damn.
Sally, what are you playing?
I've played like an assortment of stuff this week. I don't know why. I've just been like picking random stuff. So I play Animal Crossing. That's like my daily thing, my chill out thing in the morning. Loads of people are kind of just playing it for that. It was my go-to thing with the lockdown and everything like that. So Animal Crossing is one of them. I've also played Fall Guys. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, I've been hearing a lot about that.
Yes,
that
yes,
looks
yes.
kind of
Yeah,
fun.
it is so silly. It's amazing. It's just like Mario Party / Wipeout, and there's like 40 of you all doing this crazy stuff. You don't know what the level's going to be. You don't know who you're going to be playing against, and it's just silly fun. And I'm like, I'm here for this. I know they were having some like server problems and stuff yesterday, but I think they've like smoothed everything out now, so it's all good. And yeah, they're just doing a great job at like making the game super fun and just easy to pick up and play. So I've been really enjoying that. Playing that yesterday and just being like, this is nuts. I love it. I'm also playing Judgment, which is, I don't know if you guys know Judgment. It's the game that were done by the same team that did the Yakuza series. And that's super interesting, and I'm a huge Japan nerd, so I spent like the entire time just walking around really slowly looking at everything, because it's just like it felt so nostalgic. I was just like, everything is so detailed, and obviously they've used lots of stuff from the Yakuza games and reused assets and stuff like that. They have got it down to a T. I walked into this like little corner shop and it had like my favorite chocolate snack, and I was like, this is insane. Like the detail is just like, but the rest of the game is also quite good, so I'm enjoying that. I'm only like a couple of hours into that, so I'm sure I'll find something that'll annoy me about it. But so far, it's going well.
So far, so good.
Yeah, and I've been playing also just like fun little indie stuff. Like there's this really cute game. I don't even think it's a game, but it's called Kind Words. I don't know if you guys have seen
Kind
that, but
word.
basically, it's on Steam, and you send like letters out to people in the world, and people will ask for advice, and it's like got lo-fi tunes in the background. It's just super cute. It's not really a game, but it's like kind of a little bit,
Huh.
and that's
cool.
just like so wholesome. And you'd think something like that would get trolls and people being mean, but all the letters I've got back have been just like the sweetest letters from random people around the world. So
That's dope.
Wow.
yeah,
cool.
I totally recommend like playing that if you
So
like.
it's like a
I don't know, chill out.
a good version of social media.
Yeah.
Like a non-toxic
Yeah.
version of social media.
Is
Exactly.
there a thing? Is there a such
They,
thing as
they
that?
just invented one.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
That sounds so pure.
It
Yeah.
happened.
It
It's-
sounds like
it's so-
therapy. I might have to try it.
Yeah.
it is kind of like therapy.
Yeah.
Think today and send it out into the world, and everyone will be nice back to me. I'm good with that. So
That's really cool, man.
it's a really sweet game.
So if they get
Yeah.
points for your comments, that will change the internet.
Yeah.
You get stickers, and that's it. You get like these cute little stickers.
Wow.
No like likes or anything, because that's when it all goes downhill. Nothing like that.
Definitely.
But yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Not bad.
We've had a lot of like No More Robots launches as well. So one of our games, Nowhere Profit, just came out on console. So seeing the players' reception to that has been really cool. It's a card game, and it's kind of, people compare it to like Slay the Spire. I don't know if you guys have played that, but it's really hard and I suck at it. But the game is so clever and the devs are really nice. So I've just like been playing that a lot. I mean, for test purposes, but also because I just really like playing it. So
Okay.
yeah, if people haven't seen that, I'd recommend checking that out.
Nice.
Not bad.
Plug my own games while I'm here also. Hope you enjoyed that.
It's like a little slight promo in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
you
You
know what
got
I'm
you got to
saying?
do it though.
Have
You
to.
got to do it.
Have to.
Tell them all again. What's the title?
Yeah, what's the name of that? What's the name of that again?
So that's Nowhere Profit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out on all the consoles this week. So
Everybody check that out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I might pick it up.
And right before we move on to the news, we gotta get these shots out the way, guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Really?
What do you mean out of the way?
Are we
Yeah,
doing that?
gotta do them now. I'm not
Real,
doing them later.
real quick before we do the shots, I want to ask real quick, Sally. Is there a trailer, like a video trailer, for your
for
game?
Nowhere Profit,
What's that?
for the game for Nowhere Profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all out there. Yeah, I can link it to you all to share on the Twitter or anything like
That's
that. There's-
awesome because
Yeah,
we have a
ev-
show called the Indie eShop Recap where we actually do live reactions of video game trailers for indie games. And
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah. We have tons of trailers for all the games that are upcoming for console, so
Sweet.
I'll send them your way.
Yeah, we love
we'll
trailers.
definitely do that.
Otherwise, I'll cry. So just so you know.
Not
Looking
bad.
forward to it.
So everybody in the chat, if you got drinks, put them up.
Even if it's
Because-
water.
Yes.
We're
Or-
about to
or
do these
tea.
shots. Or tea.
Or tea.
Seltzer. Seltzer's fine.
Water, tea, whatever
Cheers,
it
y'all.
is. Cheers to
Cheers.
everybody.
Thank you guys for watching.
Cheers.
Now watch Stick's face, everybody. Just
Yes.
look at his face.
He is
There we
not
go.
a drinker.
Everybody watch his face.
Oh, look at me.
He is not a drinker.
Just watch his face,
I'm
guys.
so upset.
You can see that. Look at that.
Just watch the face, y'all.
Why do you say that?
He'll live. He'll live.
It's the best part of the podcast is when you
gonna
do a
live.
shot. Yeah, I love it.
It's
gonna
my
live.
favorite part.
It's not smooth.
It's not bad.
But it is.
That was smooth, dude.
I don't understand
Dude, you
your
really
body.
don't drink, dude.
I don't understand what's going on in your body.
Oh boy.
It's a lot of darkness.
How do you
in
take
that.
it?
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect.
Oh gosh.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.
And now we're ready for the news.
We're ready
Are
for
we? Are we? We're not ready for the.
Oh shit.
You're not ready?
There we
Oh,
go.
let me sign in.
I'm still working on the sound effect for
This-
the. For the
Oh, you mean like-
effect is us,
so, yeah.
the sound effect is us bumbling into
That was
the news.
perfect as it was. You guys can just do the sound effect.
All right.
Sounds accurate.
It's always
That's
a
how
mess.
all news shows
You know what?
go.
We should just make
Yeah,
that the
it's just
sound
the way
effect.
It probably should. We do it every time.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah. There
There
you
you
go.
go. That's
Okay. So on with the news. Netflix is looking to Splinter Cell and Beyond Good and Evil for its next big video game adaptations. So, this is news to me and news to you guys because this is the news.
That
Well
we're
played.
discussing today.
I like that. Well played.
This is a mug. We are the hosts. This is a podcast.
They just
Water is
announced-
wet.
They just announced, yeah, it's obvious. But Splinter Cell they just announced as being an animated series. So how do you guys feel about something like Splinter Cell being an animated series?
Excited if it's
Yes.
if it's
Yeah.
serious and it's like they have the blood in it. Not to sound like a sicko, but like you got to keep you got to keep that that
Yes,
realism in
absolutely.
there. I'd
agree.
be
But-
about that. Hell
I
yeah.
agree.
My thing about it being an animated series is something I thought that wouldn't be one, because Splinter Cell is like Tom Clancy stuff is the closest to real.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
they focus on the realness of the situation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was the closest to Metal Gear
Yep.
as far as the game. And that's something that I always saw as probably being something live action if they were to do it.
I think since they've been on a hiatus for a while, they can do that now.
Well, I
know-
mean, yeah,
Because they haven't had a game in God knows how long.
yeah.
And so it's like, just do a Netflix show if it's cartoony. I'm about that.
Ubisoft-
It doesn't have to be cartoony though, because you
No, it could
forget
be
that
serious.
It could
It
be,
could be serious.
cel shaded. It could be it could be.
I'm
CG.
thinking Spawn for some reason.
It could be.
I'm thinking like that kind of seriousness.
So-
on it.
Hopefully it'll be like that.
That'd
I
be
think
dope.
Ubisoft needs to come out with a sequel first before they start thinking about movies.
Well,
all
what
right?
if that's part of
Well,
the
it's a TV show, though.
what if it's
Sally used to work for Ubisoft. They have any
Yeah.
Splinter Cell in the works or anything?
I'll talk to my people.
make sure they keep the 2-player campaign from the last one that was really great.
Yeah.
Listen, it's gonna
Okay,
be
no,
for
no.
mobile. Okay,
Mobile.
don't worry about it.
It's gonna be
for
mobile.
Yes.
Mario Rabbids, man.
Exactly.
Well, that would be a good cartoon.
No, that was a great game.
That would be a good cartoon, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario
But
Rabbids.
considering they're doing The Witcher, which was a pretty good success for them,
Yeah.
and that's live action.
Right.
And you think something that is like whimsical as that would be animated? If anything, it'll be more anime based than something like Splinter Cell.
You would think so.
I would
And
think
then Castlevania, obviously, you can't.
No, I don't want
I
to
wouldn't
see
see that in live action.
No,
They
I
did
don't,
the
I don't want to
right-
see that.
Right.
They did the right thing there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Castlevania. It was so good.
I
It
like
is
that
great.
a lot.
It's
Awesome.
very
I like that
good.
a lot.
Yeah,
It's really
That's
good.
probably.
Really enjoyed
I would
that.
think that's more successful than The Witcher, but I don't know the numbers, but
They announced the season 4, right?
they did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they're both doing good. And they announced a spinoff for The Witcher.
I have faith in Netflix though.
Yeah. And then there's other things that they haven't done so well, like their what was it?
What?
Some of their anime when they do live action of some of the animes, like Death Note.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
Death
no.
Note.
Oh,
Oh, the Death
well,
Note.
yeah, but
I had to turn it off. I
Yeah.
was like, I can't. What is this?
It's not always a home run. It's not always a home run when they
But-
take it into their own.
Why they make
but
that
has
live
there
action?
has there been a game like a
No, not they're doing
game
good with
franchise.
games. They're doing good with games.
They've done good with the game franchises.
And
so,
the animated stuff has been
So far, so
Pretty
good.
good.
Cuphead's been looking pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it look,
we're
from
waiting
what
for
I've
that.
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
waiting
it
for that.
looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
They also announced the Beyond Good and Evil. What's it? It's gonna be a movie,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be live action with CG,
Yes.
kind of. Okay,
Yeah.
because they said that's gonna be by the director Rob Letterman, who previously directed Detective Pikachu and the Goosebumps movie.
okay.
So probably a lot of effects.
You know what's
Like,
crazy?
I
It's like,
Yeah.
what was it, like 2 years ago? The E3 when they showed
When they
Beyond-
showed the trailer for
yeah,
it?
the
Beyond
trailer
Good
for
and Evil?
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Two.
That feels like 5 years ago.
But
No, they've announced it a
they
long
announced
time
it,
ago.
But
Yeah.
I mean, they've been working on it for a while
Yeah.
because we saw the trailer for it and it looked crazy.
Sally, what's the skinny on that game? What's up with that? They were probably working on it while you were there.
To be honest, I don't know anything about that game. Like, as I mentioned earlier, I was on like the Division and stuff like that, so I have no idea what's going on with that one. It does feel like forever ago since they announced it, and I know that a lot of the comments about the film were like, "But where's the game?" So it's interesting to see people's reactions to it since it's not out yet. But Ubisoft were always big on like the importance of the IP and expanding it beyond games and like making it part of people's worlds beyond the games. And when I worked on the Division, it was definitely they wanted to kind of make that a thing. And there was tons of like cosplayers for the Division, for example, and they really tried to like cater to them by putting out like 3D models of the characters and stuff like that. So I definitely think that was part of Ubisoft's strategy from what I saw when I was there to keep kind of expanding things beyond just games. So I'd be interested to see what players think of that, because obviously the focus for players is always the games first. So it's there's usually like a mixed reception to additional stuff. And people are like, yeah, cool if it's good, but where's the game? So I don't know how that'll play out long term, because they did the Assassin's Creed film, and I think people were like, pretty cool, but like, you know, I don't know. It was a very mixed kind of bag for that as well. So yeah, I guess it depends how good it is.
You know what's funny about the Netflix thing? They also said, I could have sworn I heard this from a while ago, that the people who worked on Castlevania wanted to do an Assassin's Creed
I did hear something like
cartoon
that.
version of it.
They're probably
maybe a year ago.
focusing
I heard
more-
about that.
Probably focusing more on Castlevania now,
Yeah.
since it's a known hit.
But I think Assassin's Creed would work more like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that than the
the
live
movie.
action.
I think definitely episodic. It has to be a series, a show.
Yeah.
Live action
Then-
it takes a lot more to get right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more. But
Agreed.
since that, Beyond Good and Evil should probably be a cartoon.
Yeah.
Because that's like Star Wars type
Yeah.
world, Zelda type world. I don't think being a big pig is going to look right too
That's what I was
much in live action. I don't think we need that in live action. But
Less CG.
they can do it. I mean, they can
However-
make a slimy looking pig. And
You could get those. Just get the Star Wars costume designers. They always have those weird characters.
It can be good.
Yeah.
It just better be like a little grungy. Like it have to go in this like a that
It's a
type of world, that punk type world,
Weird.
a little bit.
It's very weird.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if
Awesome
it'll be
game,
a
though.
stopgap between this actual 2, or did they just stop making 2 and are gonna make it the movie and call it a day? I don't know.
Yeah, they've been quiet.
But maybe they just want to reintroduce it to people because that was such a long time ago when that game came out that this is gonna be their introduction to it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean,
We shall see.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Splinter Cell. I want to see anything that involves
oh
Splinter
yeah,
Cell. I
man.
enjoyed
Sam
those
Fisher
games.
needs to be like.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like
Something-
24 though.
Hey.
I would have liked to see that live action, like espionage type stuff.
You know,
like
I want
that.
them to
Just
keep
get,
in the game. I mean, it's a little ridiculous, but what I want them to keep in Splinter Cell so bad is like
What?
when he gets injured and heals himself, he makes that. They gotta keep that. They gotta keep that noise in there. Throw that shit randomly in there. That always threw me off. I'm like, why does he have to make that noise every time he heals?
It's
Well, that's how you know
it's
he's healed.
soothing.
He's like, ah.
It's soothing. You ever put like antiseptic on you and it's just soothing?
Now I'm like, ah!
Yeah, you
Also, hold on, wait.
peroxide in
It
the cup.
burns.
It is not that comforting.
You don't have the right medicine.
No, man, he's in
And they should have
Probably
like
drugs.
the
Probably
military. He can handle it, man.
It's
He's like,
probably drugs.
High tolerance for pain. Okay, all right.
they should get like the voice actors. Remember, no, please, the monkey. What was that?
Oh
thing?
yeah. From Chaos Theory. No, please, the monkeys. That guy. Yes, bring them all back. Bring them all
The
back.
silly dialogue
Dude, you guys
between the
used to play
scientists.
Oh my god.
constantly. I used to watch you guys play that.
That was so
and that was the funniest shit.
The 2-player modes are great in
that
Splinter
was so
Cell.
funny.
They really are.
That was game memes. You just take a part of it. And just
You know,
show it.
No, please, the monkeys. Like the heck?
we should replay that. Just that scene. Just that scene.
Oh yeah.
And then put it up on our channel. Just so.
Oh, we have to get all the scenes. All
We'll
the
have
dumb
to
we're
edit
talking
it in
about.
this podcast.
Oh, yeah, and then I'll just post
We have to do a thing
I'm gonna
about.
break it out right now.
We have to do a best thing about games that isn't part of the game. And just take every part of the stuff at all the games we played.
Yes.
We just
That's a
make
good-
stupid stuff.
We're fascinated with like the shit that nobody.
Yeah, the nonsense. The nonsense.
That's a fabulous idea, but
pays
someone in the
attention
chat's going to steal it.
yeah.
And I'll watch the video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because everybody's will be different. That's the cool part about it. But yeah, I mean, Netflix is doing their thing with the games. I'd like to see where they go, and hopefully they don't drop the ball.
Yeah.
But
I faith.
something is gonna be bad. Something
No,
is gonna
no,
be
no.
bad.
I have faith in them, man. They're on a roll.
But they are on a run. They are.
Well, all I say is this.
You already said
In this, no, all I'll say is this. That's it.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. No, but during this time when everybody's working at home and stuff, and quarantine and whatnot, it's like animated shows make sense.
Yeah.
because you could work on an animated show,
But they can't. They don't have to be
than
near each
live
other.
action.
Yeah.
You
They
can't
can
really.
social distance.
Yeah, but you can't really film a live action show right
That's
now.
probably why they did
at
it.
this point in time. So that makes a lot you
Yeah.
And
Everything's gonna be animated. and
whenever
CG
you're
animated.
whenever you're limited like creatively, you
Good stuff
usually
comes
put
out
the
of it.
best stuff out.
Yeah.
So that's why I have faith in this
Listen,
project.
I want some
these
uncanny
projects.
valley type, like too real looking.
no, no.
You'll have weird, like, deep fake
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
no.
happening. It's just like, that's not what you want in life.
You guys aren't really here, but this is like another episode of something else. We just changed it into Splinter Cell.
So you want to do a podcast like that, like a deep fake?
Oh,
like,
God.
yeah.
Everyone will have different faces. Everyone will have
Yeah,
each
we-
other's face.
We just put our faces on
That's
each other and then
Nah,
just.
that's creepy as hell.
no.
and
that's
no one will
fucking
know the difference.
That's freaky. That's too freaky, dude.
Do a
No one
deep fake
would know the
ASMR podcast.
Oh, dude! ASMR. What the fuck?
If I'm on Chocolate's body, though, they'll be like, okay, that's definitely darker. than
Yeah,
that
that's super
face.
weird.
Everyone else, no one will know.
No,
the
no one
difference.
knows
yeah.
the difference. Yeah, that's
Oh
right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you guys are pretty much interchangeable.
No, we know the difference. That's true. And it's just right. That was great.
You're like, something's weird about this. I can't put my finger. I can't put my finger on it.
Sticks
But,
looks
one
different.
One of these
I
is
don't know
not
what
like
it-
the other.
I don't know what's going on here, but didn't look like this last week.
And of course, Reggie chimes in with, Sally, did you ever play Smash Brothers?
Nah.
We already asked you that.
yeah.
We already asked you that, Reggie.
Really,
You're late.
Reggie?
You're
Reggie,
late.
what's going on?
First of all, Reggie, you're late. Okay, we already
6:30
got.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, we
Reggie.
already got past the whole Smash Brothers thing.
Yeah,
Reggie.
man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Radical Reggie.
The radical one.
The
Thanks,
radical
Reggie.
one.
I still appreciate it. It's okay.
On to the next news. All right. Spider-Man. We all know Spider-Man. You know Spider-man?
I don't look. Ask Chalk about it. He looks
You
happy.
know Spider-Man?
I know
So,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is coming to Marvel's Avengers, but as a PlayStation exclusive. All right, so people seem to have misunderstood what an exclusive means. So the fact that something is on one system and not the other is to make you buy the system that it's on.
Yes.
So people are angry that they have to buy a system for an exclusive.
Not gonna happen.
You're
Microsoft
going to
fans.
buy it now, and if you don't like it, then don't worry about the game.
Shut up.
But,
wow.
seriously though, Spider-Man was an exclusive for the PS4, right? It's the greatest
The game.
Spider-Man that ever came out. So if
Yes.
you're a Spider-Man fan, you're gonna buy the PS4, the PS5 for the next one. You're gonna have a Sony system. So I don't understand why Microsoft fans are really that pissed that they're not gonna get. Of course, Sony's not gonna put Spider-Man if they own the property.
Wait,
on there.
wait.
They don't own
Wait,
the
but,
property.
but you said
they
you
own
don't
the
know.
movie property.
You just said
Oh.
you don't know why Microsoft fans are pissed. You should just ask them right here.
Oh,
He's a
I
Microsoft
don't know
fan.
why you're pissed.
You're acting like you're not
I don't
going to
know why
buy.
you're pissed.
You're
Chuck,
acting like
why
you're
you
not going to buy a
pissed?
PlayStation 5.
Come on.
You are going to now
but I
because
gotta buy
why?
the game, and then I gotta buy the online subscription, which I don't want to do.
But you're going
But
to.
you're
Because I
gonna
have
do it.
Xbox Live. Shut up!
gonna
I'm not
do
doing
it.
it. No, it's not happening.
You're
gonna
gonna
do
do
it.
I'm
it.
gonna have
You're
to sit
gonna.
this game out on the channel then.
like
he's
you
all
were,
like-
I gotta take a stand.
like you
Chuck
weren't
is like
going to
it's a
play
tax write-off. I need to do this.
like you weren't going to play Spider-Man, the Miles Morales.
I will.
Exactly. So you were going to get it anyway.
Whatever, man.
Listen, I wanted to get it for Xbox also because of how they have their, you
Yeah.
buy the one game, you can get the next one for free or whatever.
Exactly.
So that's why I was going to get it for Xbox. But, now that they announced this is the power of exclusivity.
It's business, man.
That's
Peter
right.
Parker's
Yeah.
overrated. Peter Parker's overrated.
Do I even care to play as Spider-Man in that? I'm going to have a whole game with Spider-Man in it. Do
Yo,
I care to play him in this game?
That's a good idea, though.
Sure, but what if Xbox has an exclusive? What character would they have?
Wolverine.
Miles Morales. They should have Miles Morales
Nah, it's not gonna
on the
happen.
Xbox.
They would have-
Peter Parker on the PS.
Nah, so
They would have
Netflix has
War
that property,
Machine.
too.
They
Hold
would
on.
have War Machine in the Halo outfit. That's what they would do.
You got jokes. I'm so glad you're entertained by my pain.
Man,
That's the only way.
Was Wolverine ever on the Avengers ever?
Yeah.
Once?
Yeah,
he
he
was.
was.
Yeah.
He
Back
was.
up, yeah.
But X-Men aren't in the
They're
Marvel
not.
universe.
Yeah,
yet.
they're not.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah,
exclusive.
This
like
is
that.
all about Marvel's universe
Yeah,
right now.
there's no-
Even though none of the characters, they did make them look
Actually,
more
no,
like
they
them.
have the properties back, so they can.
No, they can. But they
potentially
made
make an
them.
appearance.
They made them look more like the movie. They
Man,
said they
not-
weren't gonna, but they, that Scarlett Johansson looks. I mean, she's not even Scarlett Johansson, but she looks more like
Scarlett
her.
Johansson.
She looks more like her now.
It's not like, you know what? The only maybe they could throw a Master Chief or Banjo Kazooie up in there in the Avengers. I mean,
And the Avengers, Banjo Kazooie's not gonna be. in it.
Banjo-Kazooie in the Avengers.
In the Avengers.
nah, Battletoads, man. Throw Battletoads. in there.
Battletoads in the
That's
Avengers.
perfect fit.
Yeah.
Perfect fit. Perfect fit.
Battletoads.
I'll have-
Marcus Phoenix.
That would be awful.
I'd be like, what?
Are you guys trying to cheer me up?
Yeah, man.
Because it's not working.
It's not working at all.
The only thing they could do to counter that, would be to have Wolverine as exclusive if he was on the Avengers.
That
Seriously.
would be.
That's star
Yes,
power.
that would be a
That
good-
matches.
That would
be a
make
good
me say,
trade-off.
okay, I'm gonna have to buy
That's a
both
good-
of these.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man, Wolverine's my favorite superhero.
He's
So
cool,
I'd
he's
be
cool
like,
to use, man.
That's a good touche right
like,
there.
That would be.
That's
That
a
would
good.
be.
That is good.
That would ease the blow.
So Microsoft, if
Let's
you're
hope
listening,
Microsoft are watching right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
They'll
if
do
you're
that for
watching,
y'all.
that's the only thing you can do to
Send it
counteract.
down.
Microsoft Trump's like,
There you go. That's what we have to do. We have the money. We could do
We
this.
got this.
Microsoft, I've been loyal. Can you help me, please?
they're like,
Oh, they're not.
We might throw
don't-
you
they-
Banjo.
Listen, they said you don't have to buy the new system. They're being loyal. To
They're
you.
being very loyal.
You don't have to get a new Xbox.
I ain't getting that new.
You can
Xbox.
just play the games on everything.
I don't need to get it though, because everything works on the
Exactly.
everything.
You don't have to do it right
No,
away.
you don't have to.
Nah, Chalk, they could throw in Dave Batista in there.
Dave Batista.
That's not helping.
He's in Gears 5, man.
That's not
Gears
helping.
5. Come on,
He'll be
put
the
him in.
special character in every game.
Oh,
on the Xbox.
oh, Drax the Destroyer. Okay, out of nowhere on the
He'll be in
Avengers.
State of Decay. He'll be in all that. He'll just be
would
Batista
make
in
sense.
every
That's
game.
their. That's their.
Drax the Destroyer. Yes, give him the skin. Give him
make
the
sense.
skin.
That's their Hail Mary. That's it.
can't.
That's it. They're just like.
Sally, what do you think of the exclusivity thing up on this? And is it cool that they have that
I
character
think-
in there?
I think it's just interesting for the game industry in general because I know that it does annoy people, but I know why platform holders do it. You know, they're trying to attract people to their console. There's been loads of controversy about like the Epic Game Store and the exclusivity there, but they offer a great deal for devs to be able to survive, especially indie devs. So I can see it from the player's perspective and the dev's perspective, which happens all the time, and then I just end up arguing with myself. So that's not useful. But yeah, it's interesting to see how the industry's kind of going that way, and I get why they do it. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's been around forever. Like exclusivity deals have been around forever.
Yeah,
People act like
they
it's
are.
brand new. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe it's only on this system.
Right.
How many exclusives are for PlayStation? Like this is a known thing for them.
It's just annoying whenever it rears its ugly head.
But they strive off it. There's
I
the
know.
reason why people got a PlayStation 4.
I get it. I remember what was it? Soul Calibur, the first one. Like
Well, they had different characters in
Oh,
Xbox.
yeah,
Second
every
one.
system.
Xbox had
This one with like
Spawn.
Link from Zelda.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
That was
like, this
Link.
is,
Yeah.
he was
Spawn.
OP, so I'm like I'm playing him all the time. He could like
He
rip
was an
people off the
awesome
edge of the
character in
arena.
Soul Calibur
Like-
too. I was killing all these bastards.
No, you
on
weren't.
this
No, you
freaking
weren't.
island.
No, you weren't.
You
No,
never
hell
even
yeah.
I
played it.
slapped you
Hell
up
yeah.
with cool.
Yeah,
Nah, man.
I didn't even play the game first of all, so
Yeah,
I don't even know
think
what
he's
you're
a
I don't
talking
even
about.
know how
History
it's.
So
lane.
now you're making up lies.
I never played
It was
either.
so-
Me and Al never played it, so
It was so long ago that no one remembers that you played it. So don't
You
even
need to
bring
walk
it.
down history lane.
Stop
Don't even
lying.
I
do
didn't
that.
lose
Stop
to you.
lying.
Do that.
History
know
lane.
that.
But that would be a cool thing, though, having exclusive on every system. That's actually a cool thing.
That's
It
the
is.
only
Yeah,
way
and
to
you know
counter
what?
something like that.
Exactly. Like
But it
if
sucks.
Xbox had another, just announced that they had an exclusive character too, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
It'll
so
be
you just-
Squirrel
Yeah.
Girl.
Man, shit.
It's not funny, man.
So you just go with your
But she
favorite
never
character.
loses apparently.
Wait, what if it was Terry Crews from Crackdown 3? in the-
He's not even in Crackdown 3.
I'm gonna throw my laptop at you. How about that? I'm gonna just throw this laptop.
I
at
could
you.
feel the anger.
It got hotter around this area. The heat
Screen
like
again.
started hitting me like pretty hard over here. Wait, get that fan over here,
It's
Pop.
my aura.
But you did play Crackdown, dude.
Yeah, you have
You
Crackdown.
did.
I
I
watched
have
you
it.
play it.
I
That
have
means you are
No, no,
you're a
I watched you play
bona fide freaking Microsoft fan if you played Crackdown 3.
Mm-hmm.
You have
and
to.
the 3 other players.
Everyone online right now, the bona fide players.
That
you
server's
to.
got 3 heads on it.
Yeah. They're like, why do we have this open? We got the money.
I don't know. Man, it was free. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Big Choco's still playing. let's
We're gonna shut it off, but this one guy
I
playing.
can rely on him.
Still.
They'll keep the server on for you, Chuck.
Keep the server on for another year.
As far as Spider-Man being in Avengers, though, they have characters that do play like Spider-Man when they're swinging around, so I can see how they can add him in pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then they're like, how do they add him in with the storyline and stuff? He's gonna have his own story.
You
Don't
know
worry
he's
about it.
going to be
Don't
fired.
worry
He's
about
going
it.
to be
It's
fired.
It's gonna
gonna
be
be
fun.
good.
He's going to
It's
play
gonna be
good,
fine.
and it's going to be sad.
And if you didn't like, the only way to play as Spider-Man is to get a PlayStation 4, basically, because he has the full game and he's in here. So unless you're playing it on Legos, you're out of luck.
Can we talk about Hawkeye though? Hawkeye looks pretty cool.
Yeah. He's
No,
not a
Hawkeye.
super-
I like
no,
Hawkeye.
he's
I'm actually going to use Hawkeye. I like
Yeah, I'm
Hawkeye a
definitely
lot.
using Hawkeye.
He's dope.
But
I've
But
always
you
Pity I
can
won't be
play
playing
with him
with
on
you
both
guys, but
systems,
it's
though. Nobody will get mad about it because you can play him on both systems.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
you
much.
know, this is how to get people riled up and get people to talk about
I
it.
have a feeling
It's
that
an Avengers.
I have a feeling that Chalk's going to get Avengers on the PlayStation.
He'll get both. Don't
He
worry.
has
He's
to.
gonna do it.
He'll time it out.
Right
It's only
now-
$60.
I have a
$60?
feeling.
What is it?
He's not about that. Like I know he's very emotional right now, but I think he'll be all right.
Chalk, you got the money.
I think
What?
he'll do it.
You got the money, man. You got it.
If I tell
You got the
all right,
money.
Stimulus is coming.
I'll tell I'll tell you right now. If I buy the PS version, it's not going to be on launch. I can guarantee that.
Okay, but you'll get it.
But
You'll
you're
get it though.
eventually gonna get it.
When it's
Listen,
on sale for
Spider-Man
like
doesn't
40
come out.
bucks.
Listen, Spider-Man DLC doesn't come out till 2021, so you'll be fine.
There we go.
Okay.
Christmas.
You got
maybe?
time.
I might do
They'll
that.
soften the blow. You'll be all
Work
right.
some
might do
overtime.
You got time. You can play it on Xbox.
There's no overtime in my office for the record right now.
You can put in 3 extra hours.
Just,
and
you
pick
know,
this up.
just-
It's fine.
Ain't no overtime in my office
Just,
right
just
now.
don't drink
Whatever.
that cup of coffee in the morning.
I don't
Save
drink
it.
coffee. It's the principle, damn it. It's not the money.
Just save the, you know. You can save, man.
This
Cut
tequila's
corners.
really
Is
talking
this the
right
whole
now.
podcast just trolling Big Choco? That's the point, right?
On
That's
to
the vibes
next,
I'm getting.
On to the next thing.
Oh man.
Let's do
we
it.
got Charlie Mack in the
Yo, what up,
chat.
Charlie
Charlie
Mack?
Mack. Charlie Mack.
Charlie Mack is in the
Good
building.
friend. Good friend.
All right, let's move on to the next
We
one.
need to get an elevator action podcast going and get Charlie Mack's thoughts on it. He would love to talk about that right
Oh,
there.
that action, man.
There was a
Yeah,
sequel,
nope.
man.
There
There's a
was,
sequel.
it's on the Saturn,
They,
man.
they had the guts to make a sequel. That's awesome.
There was a
That was
co-op
pretty
on
good
there.
one, pretty
That's
good one.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. PlayStation confirms that the DualShock 4 pads won't work with PS5 games.
Go
Okay.
figure.
All right.
So let's discuss. All right. So
Damn. All right, y'all.
whenever there's a new system, there's new controllers. Pretty much. I mean,
Pretty
how
much.
many different controllers have we had for each system that's come out? Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
So people think that just because one company, Xbox, says that you can use Xbox One controllers on the Xbox Series X, everybody should follow suit. And now everyone's surprised that you got to get a new controller. Because the first complaint was when they announced the PlayStation, what was it? What are they calling it? It's not DualShock no more.
DualSense.
It's the DualSense.
Full sense,
So
Dual
the first when they
nonsense.
announced dual nonsense. Stop it.
There's some bitterness coming.
Hatred.
Yo, the
I
hate.
feel the hatred.
Oh
dude.
man, it's hot.
Wow.
Damn. Someone get him some
Holy
water.
So when they announced the DualSense, people were like, "Yeah, this is a new controller. I'm happy because Sony is innovating and they're bringing out some new stuff."
Right.
So you know what happens when you innovate? You have to move on to the new thing because the old one isn't going to be innovation.
It's obsolete.
And they were mad because Xbox was so close to the original controller that they had.
Mhm.
And you know, a lot of people consider that to be one of the best controllers
Yeah.
made. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Cool, stick with it." But PlayStation wanted to be different. They're like, "Cool, cool, cool." But now when they say you can't go back to the old ones on the new games because they're using that innovation, they're mad.
Right.
So what you can't have both. If they're doing something new with the controller and you want to feel different about it,
I kind of
Like-
understand it though.
no, I'm not. Listen, there could be anger about anything, but this is why it's different because you want your gameplay experience to be different, not the same. If you can use the PlayStation 4, then they'll be dumbing down the games to play without the new things that they're making in a new controller.
All right.
Obviously, it's going to cost more money,
Right.
and that's
It's
what people
new
are
tech.
mad about because you got to pay another $60 to $70 for another
I
controller
bet you it's going to be 80.
4 times. I mean,
bet
it could
you.
be,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're going to go that far. But you got to buy 4 if you got 4 people in the house. You know, you
Yeah.
got to buy an extra one at least. And you know, people don't want it, especially if
I
you have
doubt-
4 controllers
I think
already.
that's it.
I doubt that.
I
I
think
doubt
that's
that.
the thing is that people don't want to spend more money on it. But
You've always done it.
No, I'm saying, but I get the argument for it's like I don't have any problem with the fact that they're gonna have new controllers. Like
Yeah.
it's a new system. I had no issues with it. It's
And
just
I'm used to that.
it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. But I get people don't want to. Yeah, controllers are expensive. What is it? The Switch Pro went $10 down, and I'm like, oh, how much is it? Still $59? That's the damn price of a game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta deal with these the
Controllers
Joy-Cons.
are expensive.
Yeah,
They're
no, they're
stingy with
very.
their prices.
That's just what it is nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
Controllers
But
are
listen,
very expensive.
however,
but I don't have any issues
If
with.
you go back in history, PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah,
When
there's been a
PlayStation 2 came
different
out,
controller.
but when PlayStation 2 came out, you can actually use your PlayStation 1 controller
They're mad similar.
with the PlayStation 2. They focus on backwards compatibility.
You can still use it.
It
for
wasn't
the old
until
games,
PlayStation 3 when they focused on backwards compatibility and they changed to the what was it, the motion
Yeah, yeah.
control
The
shit,
six-axis. The
the
six-axis.
six-axis
Yeah.
control, and they got burnt because
But they put new stuff in the controller. You
but they
can't
got-
keep it the
they
same
got
every
burnt
generation.
and they didn't.
I
and
was
they
gonna
took-
say that
but-
actually.
but they also took out the rumble, and they said that
They had it in there, but it wasn't doing anything.
no, they didn't have it
took
at
out.
all.
Yeah.
They took it out completely, and then they were like, this
Oh, the
is way-
PlayStation 3's controller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They took out the rumble completely.
I mean, as technology,
But then they added it back in.
As technology evolves,
Right.
they're gonna add things to the controller,
Yes.
and old technology is not going to work for the new system.
Exactly.
And it's just the way it is. And it's going to be pricey. That sucks.
But
Yeah.
backwards
That's the
compatibility,
way it is.
when you play your
Backwards
PS4,
compatibility.
you can use your PS4 controller still. So they had that in there. That's as far as we're going with it. But yeah, people get pissed about new stuff.
You know
But
what?
This is
However-
the new,
But like you guys said, it's been going on ever since.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bought a Nintendo, you
But-
had that controller. You bought a Super Nintendo, you had that controller.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the people who are complaining about this are probably too young to remember that.
Yeah.
And they're like, I heard that they were going to have the same controller. I was so happy.
Well,
That we're
here's the
gonna have
issue.
a-
With the same voice. With the same exact voice.
And now I have to
The issue-
sell my system and buy another controller.
the only
750 hours in Smash Brothers.
You can keep your save. You can keep your save.
the only question that I have is, like, you're gonna have a new. All right, no problem.
Get rid of the touch
The
part.
the touchpad doesn't work, right?
Get rid of the touch part.
Yes.
However-
yes. Yes.
It's just a
However-
button.
Yes.
It's just another button.
Is it though? Because if that's the case,
It's a waste.
if that's the case, PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible for PlayStation 4, right?
No.
How
No.
many? Well,
They
it
didn't even
is.
say.
They
They didn't
did
even
say.
say.
They did say.
They
The
never
games,
told it.
right?
Yeah,
The
they did.
games for
They've been funny
PS4
about it,
games
yeah.
work on PS5.
Apparently.
Yeah.
They haven't said
That's
it yet.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So it's if that's the case, then what the heck? Like that's the only
Listen,
concern.
there's different
about it.
vibration stuff in it. There's different things they're going to do with it. So let
don't
them
know.
do their thing.
Well, my thing is this.
I feel like
But then
people would
there's
have been
the-
less mad if Microsoft hadn't have kept the same controller. Like the fact that people are able to compare that and then get mad about it seems to be like a bit of a catalyst. If Microsoft had had a new controller, then I think people would have been like, "Oh, that's just what happens every time." But now they've got something to compare it to, so now they're like, "Well, Microsoft did it, so why can't Sony?" You're just money grabbing and stuff like that, you know. So I think that's
Microsoft
part
did
of-
shade right after, too. Right after
Yeah.
the announcement, they said, hey, you know what? You can use our controllers. they tweeted
just
right
slipped
away.
in
Well, they did
right
the same
after. I was
thing.
Like, that is a move.
Sony did the
That
same
is a
thing
move.
with to Microsoft on their review.
They will not delay the chance to hit each other with something.
It's easy to write a tweet. It's easy to
it's
tweet.
It's so quick.
It's
However, there is one thing that nobody can say is that nobody's used this controller. So it's not until somebody actually uses it and
Hopefully
like,
it's
reviews it
improving.
and
It's exciting.
Then
New
it
controls
ma-
are exciting. They
I'm
are.
sure
I like
I'm
to check
sure
them
it
out.
would make sense once you actually use the
Yeah,
controller.
if it
I'm
makes
sure
a
it'll make
difference in
sense.
your gameplay, then no one's going to be mad. They're
Right.
like, I have to get
Right.
this because this game is awesome with it.
and it should shut everybody up.
Get
Or-
what you about to say?
I was about to say, I was like, I got no problem with shelling out more money for a new controller for
Yeah, you
a
do.
new
You're
feature.
cheap as hell.
I,
Don't lie to them. Don't lie to these people.
I do know. You know, I was disappointed when the Wii U controllers weren't compatible with the Switch. That kind of hurt.
The Pro controller?
That kind of, it kind of hurt.
Pro
But
controller's fine.
It did.
It's like, no, but if there's a new feature on a new next generation controller, I'm fine with paying more money, but developers really got to use that feature, though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
just waste it.
Yeah, it's like, and I don't want it to be just first parties. I only
Right.
want to take advantage of this thing. I
That's
need
what's gonna
like,
happen.
it has to be really like a mass market or at least a wide use of this new feature that you're justifying charging me an extra $10
On the Switch.
It's the price
By
of
the
the
way-
games.
Yeah.
It's the
On
price
the-
of the games.
By the
now.
way, the directional pad on the Switch, though, the Pro controller, is
Not there.
It's not good at all. Like I
It's
play
not
Tetris.
that great.
It's
But-
really not accurate.
So, speaking about new things they add to controllers, remember the what was it? The Rumble they added to the Switch, and they were like, "This is so
Yeah.
revolutionary. It's so great. It's
It
so
is,
great."
man. No,
HD
no,
Rumble.
No, HD Rumble's the shit, man. Don't
And-
talk about it. Don't
You know,
talk
how
about
many?
HD
Listen, how many
You
games?
see him
Sorry,
pop up from
sorry.
his seat.
I
He
gotta
said
give
like
the
this.
recap.
He popped
We
up
got
from
the
his
gentlemen.
seat.
Nintendo, we got the
I'm talking-
Nintendo fan, and then
How
we got
many?
the Microsoft
Listen,
fan.
Nintendo knows how to use it, right? How many games do you play that just has a buzzing controller? And you're like, stop buzzing. That's not.
Two
it just
games.
goes. Zzz, zzz, zzz. It doesn't do anything special.
But it's the way
just
it buzz-
buzzing. Remember how many times you play something? It's like, what the hell's wrong with the controller? It's just buzzing.
I'm trying to remember. Now, there's-
mad
I
games.
can't recall off the top of my head, but there was
They
times
do not use it correctly.
you leave that shit alone. I'm like, why is my
Terrible.
controller
going
buzzing?
crazy.
It just makes a buzz sound.
It's going crazy.
Is this bugging out?
It's not ice cubes like they said. There's none of that.
I'm more concerned about the Joy-Cons. Got me heated because I have nothing but Joy-Cons.
well, Joy-Cons are busted.
I
Those are
hate it.
bad. Those are the
mine,
worst
mine
controllers.
broke and I had to buy new ones. I was like, I could send it to Nintendo, but I don't know what the whole process for that is.
And you have
It's
to
months.
wait. And
No,
then
No,
you
you're
have to
gonna
wait.
wait.
You
You're gonna
have-
wait a while.
You have to wait, and it's gonna mess up again
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I want to play Breath of the Wild, man. I don't want to send this to off to
Mm-hmm.
God knows where for like weeks on end. I need to play my games. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Every Switch controller, the Joy-Cons have broke. Every one from every person has a broken Joy-Con, and it's crazy that lawsuit is in effect because they're doing nothing to
Man,
fix
they
it.
owe me a free pro controller, man. Just send me a free pro. Actually,
Change how you make it.
Send me two.
Dude,
They have to
third-party
change.
controllers do a better
Yeah.
job than
No, they do.
the
They do.
fucking
They do.
Like
They
I
have
have
to
All my
change.
all of
Third-party-
mine are third party now. I'm just like anything knockoff, I'll buy it. It's cheaper and it does the same
Yep,
thing.
it's
I'm just
better.
fine
Yeah.
with it.
Yo,
They
yeah.
have to change how they make the Joy-Con.
I have two 8-bit
Yeah.
do controllers, man.
Simplify it.
Two of them.
Rip off everybody. Just fix the controller. I don't care what you do.
They're awesome. They're not
Yeah.
that expensive, and they're fucking awesome. And they
Make
work
$5
better.
controllers that work better than your $30 controllers. That's
Right.
fine. Just get it working. That's all. Send them out to people.
They can
That's
figure it out. What the hell?
But they'll just blow air into him like, here you go, he's fixed. and then you wait a month or two before you get it
Yeah.
back.
It's a long wait.
That's all they do, and then it breaks again. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm waiting to see. That's gonna be huge.
Dude,
That's
I
gonna
think
be a huge
every
lawsuit.
Joy-Con I have, I could just send away.
You
They're
know
all
what's
they're all
fucked up?
messed up.
You know what's really fucked up? The people that bought the Switch Lite.
Yeah,
There's
and it's
you
stuck
can't-
in
you
there.
Can't, you can't.
It's stuck in there.
You
They
can't
didn't
detach
change
it
it.
at all. It's in the system.
They should have went with the Switch Heavy.
Listen, stop it.
Why?
8-bit though, like in the chat, they did a good job on their controllers. Just get one of those. You're good.
Yes.
That's all you got to do is get one of those, and your Switch is set.
Yeah.
But do not use the Joy-Cons. They're terrible.
No, they're bad. They're
Yeah.
really bad.
Imagine if they just stop making switches with Joy-Cons. You know how small they can make it? They can make it super tiny.
Yep.
Just make them without that and just get 8-bit though to make your controllers.
I don't want a
They're
smaller
good.
screen, man. Don't
Everything about the Joy-Cons are cool, except for the fact that
Except
they
that they
fail.
don't work.
Yeah, if there was no issues, I'd have no
And no
problems with it.
D-pad.
Yeah.
And no D-pad.
I remember what
They
was
may
it?
be the worst controllers ever made.
You can link it up. You can actually hook
Nah,
it up if you have Windows 10.
N64.
Oh,
No,
that
the-
N64
actually, no.
controllers.
Those are
I
decent.
feel so nostalgic about the Nintendo 64 controller, even though it's totally awful. Every
Those
time
are
I see one, I'm
decent.
just like, oh, my little baby. My little
Surprisingly, I got
controller's
used to
so
it, but it's one of
It's
the
a
weirdest
spaceship.
setups.
Oh yeah.
Worst
What's the first analog?
controller that came with a system is the Xbox Duke.
Wait, what the hell is that?
If you
first-
had
the
the
first-
original,
the original
Xbox,
Xbox, it was like this
it was
big.
a mammoth
it was a
circle,
super- it was
like
Wait,
this big.
and the
fat.
buttons were terrible.
Wait,
Yes.
the Xbox Duke?
It's called
That's
the
what
Duke.
the
first
Duke-
I have never heard that in my entire life.
I
What?
don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
On the original Xbox, they had a
called the
controller
Duke.
that
I'm
was
looking-
massive,
I'm
Yeah.
looking it
and the
up right
buttons
now.
were like
Xbox Duke.
weird,
I want to see this too.
weird oval-shaped buttons, and it went up. And it was a terrible D-pad.
It was a giant-
terrible controller.
Tiny.
Terrible buttons.
Put in-
Oh my god, yes, I remember
See?
this now.
Yes.
It's terrible.
What the heck?
Oh, it's like a batarang.
I remember that.
Yeah, the
It's
people
it's
who
a
played
gigantic.
yeah.
It was like this big, man.
The
It was their
buttons were
first
placed
controller
so
before
bad.
they called it the Duke later. The
But
next
people who
they-
played the original Halo remember that controller.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Besides that, no one loves that thing.
It's a bad name.
I
It's
think,
terrible.
I think we must have had this one. There's like that bright green one as well. I'm like, I
probably
remember
worth
seeing
something.
that
The
somewhere.
Duke.
They
Probably
phased
worth
that
some
out
money
pretty
now.
quick. I remember that.
They
phased
sold it
that-
again recently.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
If you had
Who
nostalgic.
came up with the Duke?
Oh,
Why is that the
man.
name? Does anyone? Why is that like not bothering anyone?
I'm sure there's a.
the Duke?
I'm sure there was a
I forgot
inside.
how big this thing
Listen,
was.
hopefully,
Yeah,
it's ginormous.
Dude, that's like an inside joke that we would, if we were releasing a damn controller, we would call it the Duke. On some dumb, like, why would you call it that?
So hopefully,
I feel like Xbox at the time was like that though.
it was
It
mammoth
was sort
for
of,
Americans.
it was like a bro gamer kind of thing. They would totally be about that at the time.
I
Like,
want to be in that board meeting when they were like, let's call it the Duke.
it was like,
I want to be there.
inside
Dreamcast-
joke.
I want to know about that.
Dreamcast analog was still better than that, even though it was
Yeah.
weird.
Dreamcast is underrated. Saturn controller is very
Those are the
underrated.
best
Oh, the
controllers.
3D Saturn controller.
Saturn is
man.
underrated.
The Knights, that's an awesome controller.
Underrated
man.
controller was
controller.
great.
For fighters, that
Well,
was
the-
crazy.
Underrated.
The Dreamcast controller was.
Yo, that's the best cross. I think
Oh,
that
shit.
controller has the best cross.
What? Which one?
The the nice Saturn controller. The
I love.
3D
I
one.
love. No, that.
It had a good analog. It had an innovative analog controller. You put your thumb in there.
I
Put your thumb in there.
love the Saturn controller.
Yeah.
That was dope. That
Yeah.
was dope. Dreamcast was good too. Not
Yeah.
as good on the D-pad though.
I have it right
The
over there.
D-pad Saturn controller 3D. That's the best
That was
D-pad.
fun.
I think
Yeah.
that was the best D-pad in
Oh.
gaming, man.
The regular Saturn controller was pretty great too.
Super
wasn't bad.
Nintendo had the best D-pad.
I don't know, man.
Nah,
It had a good one.
NES,
It had a good one,
NES all day.
Ah,
though.
NES.
that was the original.
That was the
Okay.
original, man.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
the original. It was flatter. It was flatter.
But Super Nintendo definitely improved on that.
Not as good as the Duke.
I have them both. I have them both. I'm
Yo, I'm gonna get a shirt made that says the Duke, and I'm gonna have that controller on my shirt.
I kind of
somewhere
want
in
You
one.
see what I'm saying? It's like
I kind of want one.
because I didn't know that existed. First of all,
I don't even know.
and
how
now
you
I'm
do
in. I'm like so
the Duke of
fascinated.
Gaming. It's called the Duke
we
of
played
Gaming.
the Xbox here, and like that was the name of the controller. You didn't know?
I never heard.
I never
that
knew it
in
was
my
called Duke
entire
either.
life.
I was like,
That's
really?
amazing.
You know,
That's
like how,
All right.
wait, how many people didn't wait? Sally didn't know. I didn't know. Did you know
I
about
didn't
it?
know it was
You didn't know,
called
Jay?
Duke,
You knew
no.
about it?
You had to own
I
it.
remembered it when he said it.
Oh, okay.
I remember the controller. I just didn't know it was called that.
You had to own it.
No.
Oh, that's hysterical. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Control talk is great.
It's just really. Everyone has their preference, though. Everyone has their preference.
For
Are
real.
you doing a bathroom break?
On to the next one.
All right, we're gonna go without you. All right.
On
Yep,
to the
we're
next
going.
one.
Moving
On
the
to
show
next
along.
one.
We're not
That's right.
waiting.
You
for
should have
you
brought
at
a
all.
diaper. I always bring a diaper to the podcast.
Or at least it depends. You should have brought it depends.
Wow. That depends how you feel. Hey.
Oh.
Hello Flux said, "Yo, Style, make the shirt and I'll buy it."
yes.
We gotta make some merch, man.
Let's
We gotta
do
make some
it.
merch.
That's like, yeah, we need that merch.
Yeah.
Listen,
Get
the
that
second
merch
we can
going.
monetize, we are merchandising everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Give me that. Taking that money.
Whoa. calm
Taking that money. I'm sorry. Taking that money.
No more shots for you.
Nope, no
Wow.
more.
Cutting him off. Damn.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the next news.
I'm actually excited about this news topic.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Pump it up. Let's go.
Hey.
Yeah. let's
Raise
go.
the roof.
No, we still gotta
Raise
wait.
the
We still
roof.
gotta wait for Al.
We gotta wait for Al.
We still gotta
Yo,
wait
is
for Al.
someone making French fries? Because I'm smelling. You smell that?
There might be a barbecue outside.
Yo, that smells.
No, Grace is cooking something upstairs.
Is she?
Yeah.
Why she got cooked while we're doing this?
My wife's upstairs cooking. Yeah, it's just
Damn, now I'm hungry and I'm like,
she's making that steak and scallops. Really delicious.
really?
Yeah.
What? Dude,
Steak and scallops.
Yeah.
Word.
Surf
You got
and
enough for
turf.
everybody?
That's what's up.
We'll see. You never know.
listen.
Sally, what you got over there? You gotta have some snacks or something.
No, I want no food. I regret it now. Should have brought some snacks with me.
Al's back.
Alice
I'm
back.
back, I'm
now we
back.
can move on to the news.
I'm back.
part
The
four.
Oh, you guys waited for me for real?
Yeah,
did.
we waited for you.
I
You're
thought
very
you were gonna-
important.
We're a
Oh,
team,
shit.
man.
Very important
We're
to the
a
conversation.
team.
Teamwork
This
makes
is
the
so
dream
important.
work.
Oh my god.
We're gonna
Teamwork
talk
makes
about
the
it again.
dream
We're gonna talk about it again.
We're talking about Battletoads Duke.
No.
Oh shit.
So,
That's some DLC right there.
oh, God. Yeah, it's Microsoft exclusive, so
Yes.
yeah, I wouldn't see it.
I want to know what Chalk has to say about this.
But
So-
Battletoads?
Let's talk about it. All right.
Yes.
Rare announces release date for Battletoads Reboot.
Yes.
All right, so
Exciting.
now we can discuss how we really felt about the first trailer that came out,
Like way back?
like way back.
Way back? All right. I'll say
Mm.
my first concern was the Battletoads new design.
The design.
I
okay.
love the old Battletoads design. I love that design. And I'm like, the new design gave me the feeling of when
Heebie-jeebies.
stop that. It gave me the feeling of
Thundercats.
Thundercats,
yeah.
Transformers,
Yeah.
and there was something else they redid also. Ninja Turtles. They
Yep.
yeah. And I'm like,
It's a new
Everything
style.
that,
Yeah, it's
everything that let you down.
yeah. I'm like, I didn't like those designs.
It's
so
a
I'm
very
like,
drastic difference.
So I'm like, yeah. And then I looked at the beat 'em up stage. And I'm like, okay, action looks cool. You know, the animation,
It
the hand
seemed
drawn.
like they had too much animation
Yeah.
and it was a little bit slower than I would
Yeah,
have wanted.
it was slower, and which didn't help. Streets of Rage 4 came out,
Yeah.
and Streets of Rage 4,
Streets of Rage. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that game so much.
Streets of Rage
Awesome.
Give me
4
to play the new one.
blew
So good.
everything, every beat 'em
That's
up
the perfect way to do
out
it.
the water.
Yeah.
Like nostalgia was there.
But they
Beautiful.
also had a redesign also.
Yeah, yes,
It
they
looked
did.
different.
Yeah, a lot of people were iffy with the Streets of Rage new design.
Yep.
At first, I was too,
Mm.
but
Until you played it.
I liked it.
But once you saw it in motion,
Emotion, beautiful.
Changed
Streets
everything.
of Rage 4 should be one of the candidates for Game of the Year. Obviously, it won't because it's a beat 'em up. But in my opinion, I think it should be. But and then I saw the bike stage. You know, obviously
Which
the,
was
the
early,
first trailer,
very
early
early.
first trailer.
but they were going off your
Yeah,
nostalgia.
yeah, and I was like, okay, looks frustrating, like all the other biker things. But it was early, so I wasn't let down too much about the gameplay. I was let down more of the actual how the
How it was
toads
turning
look.
out. Yeah.
But the new trailer,
Well, let's not talk about it yet. So we were expecting them to release something in the Xbox
they've been quiet.
showcase.
They've
in the
been-
showcase, because
Yeah.
we haven't heard anything about it for the longest time, and they haven't said anything
That
about
was a
it.
disappointing part for me.
Yeah, it was a year, about at least a year, but no, they were silent.
nothing.
And we were like,
Nothing.
"What happened to this game? Did it get? Because it was supposed to be out 2020,
Yep, they said 220. Yep. Mhm.
and I thought it was canceled because they got a lot of backlash on it, and we were like, this is gone. What happened to it? So we were expecting to see it on the showcase. A lot of people were expecting to see it, and you saw the little thumbnail, and you're like, "Where is it?" It was in the thumbnail.
It wasn't there.
And they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Then literally, what, 2-3 days after?
Probably,
A couple of days after,
maybe.
Couple of days.
they show a full-on trailer for it.
Right.
And this trailer was way further along than we could have ever imagined. So first off, it looked like the design that they were going for was like a cartoon because the trailer that they showed had animated parts in it that made it look like a cartoon.
Right.
And that's fine. Then it started to look more like, I see where they're going with this, because at first I didn't know if it was just going to be like, did they understand what Battletoads is?
Yes.
Right.
Because Battletoads, what most people would consider Battletoads to be a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
If you played Battletoads, it's not a beat 'em up. It's like how
The
Earthworm-
first stage
Yeah.
is a beat 'em up.
the same way. Listen, the same way people think Earthworm Jim is a platform
Platformer.
game.
Right.
That's not a platform game.
3 stages are a platform.
Exactly. There are
Everything
stages
else
where you
is
think it is, because if
crazy.
you only play the first stage, you think that's what it is. But when you get into those games, it's so odd how many different genres they have in there and mesh them all together to make one of the hardest games. Like if you play Battletoads, it's one of the hardest games
Battletoads
ever
one
made.
It's one of the hardest games I've ever played in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hands
And
down.
it's hands down one of the hardest
Easily.
games ever made. So if you come into this thinking that it's going to be a cheesy beat 'em up and you can just run through it with your friend and it's nothing,
No,
that's
no.
not what Battletoads is. So when they added the 3D racing in there, I was like, okay, they have an idea to do it. It's different how we did it on the 2D one, and is it going to be as hard?
Yep.
Are they going to do it
Bonus
that way?
stage.
And it seems like they made it way smoother in the trailer. So now it looks like, okay, I can play that.
Right.
It's not, doesn't look busted. So then they showed other stages in it. They went to a shooter. They went to vertical stages,
Side-scrolling 2D platforming.
side scrolling, like other like racing type deal. Like they
Every-
went in there and they
so
showed
many-
that they studied what Battletoads actually is.
Yes.
And now I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because now it looks like the actual game that it's supposed to be.
To add to that, obviously the first trailer way back, I was like, okay. But I was a little worried.
Yeah.
I had concerns.
Yeah,
And
especially-
what made me more worried was the silence.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, is there a
Same thing.
backlash because of this? And when I saw this trailer, I said, holy shit.
They fixed a lot.
This looks incredible.
Even the art we had a problem with.
Yeah.
It looks
now the
better.
art to me is it's I don't
It
even
works.
care anymore. It
No, it
works
Because it
for
looks
that
like they're
style.
working
It works,
for
it
it.
works.
It's working for what they're doing.
I noticed a massive difference from the original trailer to this one. I was like, oh, it looks so much more smoother. I didn't play the original Battletoads, and what you said there totally rings true to me, because I thought it was just like this kind of fun cartoony beat 'em up, but the new trailer really gives you the right impression of what the game actually is now that I've like gone back and had a look at what the original one was, and it's like you comparable to Earthworm Jim in the fact that there's so many different types of gameplay. I was like, okay, I understand what this is now. I think the new trailer did it a lot more justice now, so hopefully the fans will be like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll feel a
Yeah.
little bit more
I
chill
think
about
they
it
will.
having seen
Yeah.
it now.
It's
Well,
like
they announced it's coming out on the 20th of August. So
That's-
that's like
that's-
literally
that's
a couple of
soon.
weeks.
Yeah.
That's
and
so
it's
soon.
out.
It's pretty much done, so they won't change much now from the trailer
and
being out.
that
so
to me,
that's what it's going to be.
the fan service that Streets of Rage 4 did for everybody.
They need to
I
be
got
on
this.
it.
I got the same feeling from this trailer.
Yep.
And
But it looks fun. The trailer
it
looks fun.
I was just engrossed, and I said, "This just looks like chaos and fun and craziness." I'm like, There's so much going on. I want to play it as soon as possible, and
Our first playthrough is going to be
A lot of yelling.
It's going to be you, Turbo 857, and Big
Yeah.
Taco. But I actually want to play that.
Oh, I'll jump in. Yeah, we'll play
So-
it double.
I
yeah,
can-
we'll
I can
rotate.
switch off.
I
Yeah,
think
we
we
can
should-
rotate.
I
That's
think we
fine.
should rotate it because
Because we're gonna be
reckon-
dying a lot.
Yo,
So
the
it's
game's
fine.
not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. If they did it the right way, it's not
No,
gonna be
no,
easy.
it's not gonna be
I
easy.
hope they did
No,
make
it's
it a
fine,
little
yeah.
easier.
Yeah, well,
I want to beat the game. I don't want to just get to
I don't
the
never
have
beat
to
the
cheat
original.
to beat the
You
game.
won't.
'cause
No.
I
You
never
won't.
beat the original.
You will
I never
not.
Me
beat it.
neither.
You will
Well,
never.
I played it by myself. Though.
Yeah.
You will never beat it.
I played
Me,
it with people.
me and
I
Turbo,
played
we
it.
beat part 1
And
and
I
we
will
beat
never.
part 2.
Holy shit!
We beat part 1 once.
Yep, I saw it.
Once.
Never
I saw it.
happened.
And
Oh my
2 we
gosh.
beat probably once also.
That last
And,
stage,
dude,
man. Oh my
it
God.
is
I can't even imagine.
painful. Can we do it now? Probably not.
Never ever.
That was younger us, so like we don't.
yeah.
Back then it was like you know, time is like
That's all
whatever.
you have.
I
It's
have all the
just
time in the world. Now when you're older, it's like no, I'm not wasting my time with this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
You will
this
die
is,
early.
I'm angry. I'm
you will
angry.
you will die early.
Yeah.
You won't even get to there. You
But
will
there's
die.
something about it that makes you coming back to the game. No, I'm
It's
beating
fun.
this game. There's a charm, and there was a huge charm. Like the charm of Battletoads was in new trailer, and
Well, when it came out,
Definitely.
Ninja Turtles was all the rage.
yes, yeah,
And to see Battletoads as a type of Ninja Turtles, it was acceptable. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's toads and we have turtles. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amphibians are ruling the country. Like there's something
Amphibians.
he said ruling
Yo, he
the
said
country.
amphibians.
And the turtles are still doing it. I don't know how, but
Wow.
Battletoads took a back seat because
It
it
did.
hasn't been
It did.
for many generations.
Years.
There has not been a Battletoads anything except for when Rare did stuff for Microsoft.
and they
So-
would throw him in like a what was it the fighting game. They threw him in
They were in Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Killer
Yeah,
Instinct. Yeah,
they
the
threw,
Killer Instinct,
Rash.
and they were in Shovel Knight. They were in Shovel Knight.
Yeah, they
also.
were.
Yeah.
The old
Yes.
8-bit ones.
So they keep making little appearances.
They're
It's
jumping
like-
in.
And the dude popped up in the E3 one time wearing a shirt. It's like, dude, you don't have a game to announce. What the fuck? Why you keep teasing me? Just throw it out there. And then they finally announced it. But like, no, I'm so happy from what I saw. So happy from what I saw. I'm like, all right, I could ignore the character designs. It works for the game. It's charming. The art is dope. The animation's dope.
We
It
accept it
looks frustrating as all.
We accept it
hell.
now.
It looks very frustrating, and that's the point of Battletoads.
And it's,
all the anger is gone. We're just
I
waiting for the
heard-
game.
I heard the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is only like for North America.
Really?
But every like in the UK,
It's not Ninja
Is-
Turtles.
I
Is it
used to
Hero
love
Turtles?
Ninja Turtles, and I got so much crap for it because I'm a girl, and it was like we had this like bring your toy to school day, and I had like Ninja Turtle stuff, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And I just,
No, you
I
had the
loved
best
it. I
ones.
just loved it. I loved Ninja Turtles so much. I had this amazing theme tune, like, oh yeah,
But they
I was
weren't-
about that life.
They're not called Ninja Turtles over there, right?
Pardon?
They're not called Ninja Turtles,
in
right?
the UK. It's called the Hero
Teenage
Turtles.
Mutant Ninja Turtles over here, yeah.
It is called
Or
Ninja
Hero
Turtles?
I
Oh.
think it was Hero Turtles.
Hero Turtles.
Hero
yes.
Turtles.
Yeah,
Yes.
it had this song like Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's going to be the intro of the podcast on Friday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I needed to confirm that because I'm like, I heard about. It. I'm like,
They
wait,
can't say Ninja over there.
Yeah, I remember now. 'Cause, yeah, I think it was Heroes.
it was
not
Hero
Ninjas.
Turtles.
That's why they say
Yeah,
Heroes in a
yeah.
Half Shell. They can still say that.
Yes.
They can still say that.
Heroes on the Half Shell.
Yeah, it's still Heroes in a Half Shell. Turtle Power.
Yeah.
But there was also,
Oh,
just to bring it
not
back to what
into
we're
that.
talking about, there was also a Battletoads cartoon.
Oh, that's
There was.
was?
There was a
Yes, there was.
one-shot
I think there was.
Battletoads cartoon.
I don't
You
remember.
can look it up. You can look it up
was
on
it one
YouTube.
or 3 episodes?
No, you can watch it on YouTube. It's one episode.
One episode.
Yeah.
It was
One
That's it.
episode.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, there was.
There was
Who
a
saw
special.
I didn't.
Wow.
I downloaded it. I did not watch it yet. Anyone in the chat, did you watch that? If you didn't, you got like, you can
I
watch it
don't
right
even
after the podcast.
See. What?
Yeah,
I don't know how
there
good
was.
it was.
Oh, wow.
There was.
Yeah, there.
How do
Yeah.
you know
Oh
about-
wow, I'm
you-
watching
you
this
see
right
it?
now.
You see it, right?
Yeah.
It's old. It's old as hell now.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All I gotta do is just make the
Are you
face.
serious?
It's freely available.
I didn't even know this
it's a rough
existed.
on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. It's freely
rough one.
available on
Holy
YouTube.
Wait.
shit.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
I didn't even watch it right now.
No. Well, he has his laptop right there.
I know.
Cheated.
Oh
But
no.
pay attention to the chat.
It's a rough one. It's
Oh,
a rough
no.
one.
That's a rough watch.
Shaq,
No,
pay
it's
attention to the chat.
a rough track.
Damn it!
It's a
I'm
rough one.
fucking. Like, I wish
I
was
downloaded
there
it
now.
though. I downloaded
Yeah.
it though. Yeah, yeah.
It's worth
classic.
if you want to laugh.
It's classic.
Yeah, it's
I want to. Oh.
But they're still pushing. They're still pushing to make it. This is gonna be a cartoon. I guarantee you. The way they're designed.
yeah,
And
they
the
will.
way
No,
that
it
it
will.
looks
It
like-
will.
it looks
It's
like
They
they're
have the
playing a
voice actor.
cartoon.
They have the voice actors and all that.
Yeah, it looked real
Yes.
good.
Yeah,
It looks like
so-
you're playing a cartoon. I'm excited for it. I just hope that the racing stages or bonus stages and not stages that you need to actually
They ain't
progress
gonna
the
be
game.
long.
Oh no, it's a stage.
No, because
that's-
battle.
yeah, it's
No,
tough,
the
it's tough.
third stage.
It's
of
the third stage.
It will be the
I
third
guarantee
stage.
you it's the third
past
stage.
I got past the third stage of Battletoads like once.
There's a
and
warp
then
zone
I
in there,
lost
man.
the fourth. and
There's a
then-
warp
and
zone
then-
in there.
I don't.
There
You can
is.
skip. You can skip a whole bunch of stages.
Thanks. That's about 30 years.
You gonna stream it?
too late.
You gonna stream it? You gonna
Stream
stream it?
Battletoads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll stream Battletoads.
Dude, you
We
know
wanna
what they
see
gotta
you
do?
stream.
They gotta have they gotta have with the game.
Maybe leading up to August 20th, we should stream on the channel maybe 1 or 2. We
No,
don't have to
original.
beat it.
Get
We don't
the
have to
hell
beat it.
out. No, you know what
Obviously,
we're gonna do?
just play it a little
No.
bit just to
No,
kind
it's
of
Check
And
it out. Check it out.
Battlemaniacs.
Check it out. We're
Battlemaniacs
gonna have
too.
we're
Yeah.
gonna have a heart monitor onto the fucking.
We need
and
a
while we're
rage
playing the
meter.
game, we're gonna be like, oh shit.
We need a dashy rage meter.
yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's hilarious.
It's
But
so
I'm
difficult.
excited, and it's very close. It's very close.
I can't wait for it.
And
to
I
be
think they're going in the right direction.
I'm
Same
cool with it.
thing with the Streets to Rage thing. You
Looks
have
gorgeous.
an indie
Same.
honest.
reboot it.
They're doing the
Yes.
right thing.
Yeah.
And it has its own style.
Yes.
It has its own style.
Yes,
It's not
yes,
a
yes.
rehash. It's not something boring.
And
It is
Microsoft
good.
owns it. Let me say.
They do. Yeah. Only on Microsoft.
Only on Microsoft.
Come on,
And
man.
Switch.
man.
Hey, give it up for Microsoft. Hey.
And Switch.
Microsoft fan.
And PC.
Yes.
NPC.
Not PlayStation 4. That's the important part.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes, yes.
PlayStation 4 can't have that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sally, you see
Spider-Man.
the disrespect I put up with?
I know.
Spider-Man,
I'm
come
sorry.
on, man.
It's a common theme.
Hey, ask this. Part of the show.
But nah. In all seriousness, I'm excited for the game.
You should be.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Whether it was,
So it's like all you got.
Halo.
all right, can we move on to the goddamn main topic, please? Jesus,
We can talk about Halo, like the free
Halo,
play.
man.
Free for
Come on,
everyone.
man.
Free for everybody.
the
100
multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's
120
not part-
frames.
It's part of.
120 frames.
So what?
120 frames.
You gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about it.
That's
120
not one of
frames.
the news topics right now.
You gotta talk about it.
It's 120 frames.
It's gonna be 120
Wow.
frames.
Wow.
120 frames.
Kev,
Holy
is
shit.
your mind blown over there?
Holy
I'm going crazy over 120
Oh, what the
frames.
fuck is wrong with you?
Kev said he's gonna fall off
Alright.
the chair.
Let's move on to the main topic because
Oh my
our
God.
chat and we do have a lot of questions to ask.
Yes,
Of course, we
move
have the
on.
CEO of Silent Games.
That's right.
Yes.
And we have a lot of questions about a life of consequence.
I feel like my life's been a life of consequence.
Oh man.
That's good to know. It's a good thing. That's what you want.
Yes.
No
That's good,
regrets.
Yes.
No regrets.
Especially
Good
what
to
you
know.
said before. That should be, that's a big
All right, so
consequence.
tell everybody what where you've come from and a little bit about yourself, Sally.
Yeah, so I mean, I've always loved video games. I guess that's obvious because I've played them for a long time. And I always wanted to work in the game industry as well. So when I was a kid, I'd be like drawing all sorts of like character designs and writing stories and all that kind of stuff. And playing Zelda a lot as well. That was the game. You know, like every game developer has this game where you're like, right, this is my job now. I need to do this. It was definitely Zelda for me. So yeah. And then I worked at Ubisoft for 6 years, which I mentioned as well. And that taught me just a lot about the game industry in general. I started as a QA tester. So that gave me like a good grounding for figuring out what everyone does. When I left uni, I was like, I don't really know what I want to do in games, but I know that I want to work in games. And QA is like super good for figuring that out. And then I moved into production, and that's a very like, it's a management role, and it's very much like caring for the dev team, making sure they have everything they need and stuff like that. But I also still had like a real passion for wanting to create my own games as well, because that's what I always wanted to do. So I was like, I'll get a ton of experience in AAA at Ubisoft, seeing like how they do it, because as I mentioned earlier, like they're great at creating like new IP and making that a really like enticing and interesting concept for players. So that was something that I learned a lot from Ubisoft. And also working on The Division as well. It's 4-player multiplayer, and I saw the best and worst of what that can be. So, you know, like there's so many systems that can encourage like good player behavior, and there's so many things that you can do as a designer that just, you know, breed toxic behavior as well. So definitely that was an interesting experience to kind of learn all of that. And then I left and I worked in VR for a couple of years as well, and that gave me a really interesting perspective on how players interact and like immerse themselves in different worlds and stuff like that. And then in the last few months, my co-founder has been working on the game for like over a year now, and I was helping part-time. So then I left the VR company and started putting myself more into the game, and now A Life of Consequence is at a point where we want to start talking about it and start sharing it with people. And the kind of road that we're going down now is that we're starting to talk to publishers as well about getting the game published. So that's super exciting for me, because we have a demo now that's actually playable, and we've been starting to share that with people. So I'm really excited to see like people's reactions to it, because we've put like so much of our heart and soul into it, and years of just like wanting to make this type of game. And it's a co-op multiplayer game. It's an action RPG with role-based combat, and I don't know if you guys are like fans of co-op games.
That's a joke. Isn't it?
This is a co-op channel.
That has to be the intro. That's the intro.
That's a good reaction. And there's something super special about co-op games. There's just this synergy that you have between
Yes.
friends
Oh,
and
it's
between
awesome.
people
Yes.
that you you care about and you're doing this stuff together.
Yes.
And with role-based combat in particular, I don't know if you guys like played World of Warcraft back in the day, where everyone had their play and their their part in the group that they were responsible for. And that can create like a lot of good synergies. It can create a lot of arguments as well, but it can create some really amazing gameplay moments. And something we're trying to do with Life of Consequence as well is like really think about multiplayer in a way that builds long-term friendships and relationships. So it's not going to have like throwaway matchmaking, because when you play like something like Overwatch, it's an amazing game in so many ways, but the matches are very throwaway. You'll see that person for like one match and you can easily get angry at them because you're never going to see them again, you're never going to talk to them again.
Right.
And those kind of throwaway interactions in modern gaming can mean that there isn't that sense of loyalty to anybody. So and that is something that existed in older co-op games, and it's kind of been lost a little bit. So we're hoping to bring that feeling of cooperative gameplay back, and that's kind of the premise of silent games as a whole. We want to do co-op games throughout, but yeah, Life of Consequence is our first game that's kind of building on those principles. And yeah, it's set in like the setting came secondary to the concept of the co-op gameplay and kind of what we wanted the player to feel. But people are really hype about the setting as well, because it's basically you're in this medieval town called Auden. And in the center of the city, there's this machine that's from an ancient civilization that provides them, like clean water for the city. And one day that malfunctions, so they start to excavate it. And they find this amazing, like, ancient civilization underneath their city. And they have all these amazing they look like sci-fi weapons. So the kind of art style has become this mix of, like, medieval stuff with, like, so medieval armor with, like, massive sci-fi swords, which people seem to enjoy. So that kind of contrast has become really interesting for the game. So yeah, I'm just excited to show players more of what it's going to be. And the team have worked so hard on it. Like, we had this amazing concept artist called Astrid who did all of our concepts and really brought that kind of mix of medieval and sci-fi looking stuff to life. We've had a programmer, Sam, who's been like working so hard to get the demo out. Our artist Jay is amazing as well. Just everyone is like putting so much effort into the demo, and that's the reason I wanted to start my own company as well, just because it's such a nice feeling to be like all pulling together in one direction to make something that you really care about. So yeah, it's just
awesome.
As you can probably tell, I'm super hyped about it.
No, that's awesome.
no, that's cool.
No, that's dope.
That's
really,
what happens
really
when
dope.
you do what you love.
I didn't know that you had a demo out though. That's fucking cool.
Yeah,
Where can we find the demo?
It's not out in the wilds yet. I could probably send it to you guys and get your impressions if you.
Yes.
A co-op demo?
Yeah, it's
about that
public.
life.
You can play it via Steam and stuff. Yeah, we're not going to put it public yet because there's a couple of bugs and stuff like that, which publishers are used to seeing when it's early in development. It's pre-alpha. It's like years away before the game will be done. It's kind of like a mix of, because there's obviously like indie studios that do smaller games, and then there's AAA studios. It's somewhere in between, so we're hoping that the team will be just over 30 people, maybe a little more. It depends if we're able to get funding from publishers for the game. But
Gotcha.
yeah, it's going to be sort of like mid-level type of game. So, but yeah, it'd be nice to know your thoughts on it. And we have our website up, so if people are interested in knowing more about the concept, what everything looks like, you can go to silent.games, and that's all there. You can have a look at it. So
it's actually a really good website. I was navigating through there. I was like, wow, this is really like well done.
Yeah,
I did that, so I feel happy.
It's a good website, man.
We're a super small team at the moment, so like all of us chip into all sorts of stuff. Like, I'm the CEO, so I do a lot of the business side stuff, but I also end up doing like a lot of the creative stuff, like cutting together video recordings and bits of narrative and just everything that needs doing that's not very interesting. I'll do that, but then also I do a bunch of interesting stuff as well. So yeah, that's been cool.
Has it been difficult, like now, like recording or just like working on this game, like during quarantine and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, so I also work part-time at No More Robots, so I'm doing both, but the experience I've had at No More Robots is really helpful because we're looking for a publisher, and No More Robots is a publisher, and so I've learned tons from No More Robots about how to get your attention for your games and how to sell games and all this stuff that I had no idea, like how the Steam algorithm works. I have no idea how that works, so that's been like super helpful. And No More Robots was already remote, so that was helpful. in quarantine, and then games is just easy to develop online. Like our programmer Sam was already remote, so we had like an online repository for the build and stuff like that already set up, and it's really reassuring to see the game industry has survived the stuff for the most part, just because it's technology based. And yeah, it was kind of worrying at first. There was a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of the freelancers were struggling because obviously people were like, we don't know what's going to happen, but things are really picking up again now. And so that's a relief to see that, especially for the indie studios as well, that relied on freelance work to finance their game, or like, you know, were a really tight-knit company and didn't have the service set up for online stuff. So yeah, but it looks like everyone's worked it out for the most part, so I'm glad to see that that's happened.
That's good.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
If anybody's made out from the pandemic, the game industry is pretty much on the top of that.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
everybody's home, everybody bought every system, everybody bought every game.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as sales and everything, I mean, obviously people couldn't get together as much as they'd like
Right.
to, but yeah, there was definitely no hurt there.
No.
Yeah.
So
No drop off whatsoever.
no.
Yeah, there's actually been some positive effects of it as well, because a lot of companies were very reluctant to have remote working, and that can be quite beneficial for people who like have kids or have responsibilities or can't move to a really expensive city like London. There's more opportunities spread out around the country and stuff. Like I'm in the north, which is like the cheapest place ever, but I got the south because it's so expensive. I'm just like no. So the fact that there's more remote positions and stuff is actually been a benefit, I think, because companies are realizing, hey, this can actually work okay and stuff like that. So that's
definitely
helped
changed.
the industry.
It definitely changed the industry.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
I mean, I can tell from the art and everything, like sci-fi and medieval always is a great mesh. Like those together is
I'm always sold.
interesting.
Yeah.
Anything medieval, I'm always sold.
Swords and magic.
Yeah, swords,
I'm about that
magic.
life.
What we got? You know.
It's
Who
for some
came up-
reason like the bigger companies are kind of moving away from that a little bit. There's been a lot of purely
Shame on them.
sci-fi stuff or like historical stuff. So I'm just like, that's what I grew up with. So I really want to see more of that, especially co-op stuff, because I want to play with my friends. And I'm like, what's like a fantasy style thingy that I could play? Like I've played them all by now. I need some more of that. So
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we
what
gr-
were you going to say? You were going to ask a question.
No, we grew up with all that, like the Fantasy Star, the Shining Force, all that kind of that fantasy / sci-fi medieval mix. Who came
Guardian
up?
Heroes.
Yeah, Guardian Heroes, exactly. Who came up
Fantasy-
with the
Fantasy III.
concept of the character designs? Who's are you the artist, or like who does?
No,
all that?
no. So that came from like the narrative concept, and so our co-founder, who also does a lot of the creative direction, gave direction to an artist. I mentioned her, Astrid, and she's just incredibly talented. She's a freelancer and she does loads of amazing stuff. Her specialism is actually like creature design, so she's done some creatures and like stuff
No,
for us.
you look amazing.
She's just
Yeah.
insanely talented, and she brought all of those concepts to life, because normally how it works is obviously we'll provide a reference and we'll say we want it to be kind of like this and provide mood boards and a brief and things like that, and she'll work off that. But she had so many of her own ideas to bring to the table as well that helped push it a bit further, and I really wanted us to have some iconic symbology on there. So all of the characters have this shield generator on them, which is like part of the ancient tech from the ruined city that you explore underground. So all of the characters have that on them. So we're hoping that that'll look quite iconic, because every character will have it, and it's part of what generates health basically in the game. So it's like contextualized.
Did you come up with the story and all that?
That's like a mix of both me and the co-founder. We've worked on the narrative together, so
Nice.
yeah, it's interesting because that happened so organically. We started with the more of the gameplay and the overall feeling we wanted to have for the game, and then we're like, what kind of narrative wrapping can we have around this that makes sense? And that's resonated with people a lot, which is cool, because we were like, I don't know if people will like this. We're not narrative designers. I don't know. We'll probably need to hire a narrative designer to actually do the nitty-gritty of the like dialogue systems and stuff like that. But people seem to like it, so I'm like, well, that worked out. Okay. This is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, regarding the multiplayer of this game, how would you is it like a top-down? Is it online only? Could we get like 4 people on the screen at one time? How's that going to work?
Yeah, so it's online. I would describe like it's kind of like Monster Hunter, but not. when we put out gameplay footage, it'll be obvious like how it all plays. But we have 2 ways of playing online. So we have like real-time multiplayer, which is your traditional, everyone jumps online and you do a dungeon run together. So basically the game loop is you start in the medieval hub, and your aim as a player, the motivations of the player are kind of up to you to decide. It's like, are you trying to fix the machine so that the city is prosperous again? Are you trying to find hidden loot in the ancient city and get cool loot for yourself and other things like that, and figure out what actually happened under there and what happened with this civilization that you don't know anything about when you start the game? So there's loads of different motivations for the player. And so you start in the medieval city and then you go into the underground and explore different areas of the underground, and different areas will unlock as you progress through that. So and then you go back to the hub, you've got new equipment, you gear up, you like do all of your level progressions and stuff like that, and then go back into the dungeon for another run. And we've thought a lot about the end game as well, because that's super important for games like this. And making sure there's longevity and there's always goals for the players to achieve, which is something we learned a bit about from the Division, but from just playing games since forever as well. So yeah, that's part of like one side of the multiplayer. And then there's another side, which is asynchronous multiplayer, which some games do in a way, but like AAA games don't do as much of. So asynchronous multiplayer is more like you feel the presence of other players in your game. So we have a system called doppelgangers where you can upload your character, its equipment, its everything that you've set up for it, and put it online, and it will appear in other people's games to play with. So all of their loadouts, their gear, and the way they've configured it can be brought into your game. So if you're feeling like, I don't want to play real time with somebody right now, I want to have a chill session, I'm not feeling up to my mate shouting at me because I've not done the right thing, I'm just going to play with my friend's character who has all the cool gear, then I can do that. So it's about different ways to play, because normally when that's done in a game, it's just like you've got AI companions that are kind of meaningless. They don't have gear that's your friends. They don't represent it. Like random dudes that have come along for the ride. So we're hoping it'll be a bit more sort of immersive, and you'll get a greater sense of community by having that system in place. So
that's cool.
That's definitely new.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I'm feeling a little bit of a Phantasy Star Online influence, maybe.
I used to play Phantasy Star Online quite a bit. Yeah, I don't think that's like deeply influenced the game, but like, we just had little bits of different influence from all over the place. The system I mentioned there, the asynchronous multiplayer, that's inspired by Dragon's Dogma. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but
I'm interested in it.
I've always
never played it. I'm interested in it, though.
It always has eluded me. I've always I want to play this game, and I just it's on the Switch shop, at the eShop. Yeah,
they got good sales on
always,
it. It's not expensive.
I just haven't got around to it, and I've always wanted to play it.
So good. It's ridiculously underrated. I don't know why, but that has a system in it with asynchronous multiplayer where you can like upload your. It's the system where you can download other players' characters, and we took a lot of inspiration from that. And our system's a little bit different, and different stuff added to it, but that's a good reference for people who've played that and want to understand how that might work in our game. And yeah, Dragon's Dogma, play that. It's so good. It has an amazing tune. It's just it's good shit. I think they're doing an anime. I think they're doing an anime of it as well on Netflix.
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Fantasy Star Online?
No,
Dragon's Dogma.
Sorry. One step behind.
It's Xbox.
chat.
It's the
Yeah,
Xbox thing.
No, I was reading questions from the chat.
No, it's
All right?
the Xbox.
Shut up.
I think Dragon's Dogma came out at a wrong time, because that's when
lot
Monster Hunter was doing very,
Yes.
very well.
Yes.
And that was pretty much where people were going for that type of game at that time.
Yeah.
But it always seemed like it was good. I mean, Capcom.
It always looked good, and I always wanted
It was
to
in the
play
back-
it.
it was
yeah,
in the background,
It always
though.
was just I never got around to it.
Yeah.
It's
I would
just
have
one of
missed
those
it
games.
if my friend hadn't been like, play this, and then our co-founder is like, play this game now, it's going to influence our game. So I was like strong, and I was like, okay, I'm glad I did, because it's really good.
That's good.
Nice.
Got a couple of questions from the chat.
Yeah, chat.
All right. So first one comes from Hello Flux.
Hello.
He or she was asking, does being the boss lady of WMG bolster your position in silent games?
I don't know. It's weird to think of myself as the boss lady.
You a boss.
You are, though.
Sally, you a boss.
Own it. Own it.
It's funny. I mean, when you're a producer, that is like a management position. So you've got to like make a lot of decisions quickly, and you've got to steer the team in a certain direction, and you get used to doing that. But it's definitely like a collaborative effort. I don't do a lot of the game development myself. Like, that's done by people who are way more talented than me. So it's very much a process of bringing people together around the vision that you have for the game and making sure everyone feels respected and listened to. And we try and make sure that everybody has input into what they're creating as well, which is something that can be hard in AAA actually, like, because you can sometimes feel like a bit of a cog in a machine. You're working on this very small segment of the game, whereas with a smaller studio you have a lot more creative input. So I'm hoping we're gonna like foster that continually as we grow as well. So yeah.
That's interesting.
Is there a huge difference between being a producer and CEO?
I'm doing similar stuff, but like, because the company is so small, I'm doing a lot more creative stuff than you might do as a producer. Because when you're doing production, mainly it's like making sure stuff's on time, making sure stuff's on budget, making sure it's the quality that everybody expects it to be. So there is some creative input in there, but it's usually like rejigging schedules to make sure the most important features come first. Whereas my job as CEO is bit more, it has more creative stuff in it, because I'm just like getting involved in it, in everything at this stage. That might change as we grow and I become more busy doing businessy stuff, but the game is always at the heart of what I want to do. So I'll definitely always like be in touch with what's happening with the game and making sure that players know about it as well. Like, I had a really good relationship with like the Division players who I still talk to, that I met at Ubisoft, and I really want our community to be like that as well, and to just be this community that like really helps each other learn about the game, and that I want to be involved in that. But I also get involved in way too much, and I'm like working 20. So I don't recommend that. As the guy every time, and I'm like, I want to do everything, so I definitely need to not do that. But yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Another question from the chat. Do you have a possible release date for the demo? For the public demo? So
I don't know if or when we're going to do a public demo. Like, I'm sending it to my friends for feedback and stuff like that. And I'm pretty lax about who I send it to for feedback. If someone's like super interested in the game and really wants to know what it's about, then I would probably send it to them. But yeah, I don't think we'll do anything public for a long time, because we're looking for a publisher, a lot of those decisions are made in conjunction with the publisher. So I wouldn't want to do anything that kind of jeopardizes that relationship straight up. But we might do it. It's getting to a point where it could be shared with people. So we were discussing that like today actually. Like, hey, it's coming out pretty good, but it is super pre-alpha. It only has like, it doesn't have the full game. So when you do anything for a publisher of this size, it doesn't necessarily have to have the entire game. It's meant to give the feeling of what a player might experience, and give the atmosphere and how the combat feels and stuff like that. So it's not fully complete. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. That's my answer for now. We'll see where it goes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was expecting the answer for that question to be like, I don't know, I'm a boss.
I'm a boss.
When I say it's done.
When I say it's ready, it's ready. I'm a boss.
Use that line.
Whenever it's out.
So whenever it's out, I'm a boss.
That's hilarious.
Another question from the chat is actually for us.
Cool.
Hello,
We can
Flux.
answer that later.
Damn.
Wow.
Yo, he just killed him right there. Yeah, he just
Sorry
came,
for whoever asked that question,
Yo, he
man.
just came out of man. Yo, he just.
Sorry for
No more
whoever-
shots for Jay.
Yeah,
He's
you're
done.
cut
He's
off,
done. He's
bro.
cut off.
Anytime.
So Hello Flux is asking, how do you guys like being able to talk about games together as a crew? And I'll start with the answer. I don't know if you've noticed, but we actually like each other. Somewhat. I
That's
mean,
a good start.
We're longtime friends, man.
yeah,
This is what we do.
Over 20 years.
Podcast or not, this is what we
This
do.
this is not work for us. For anybody out there, this is not work.
Yeah,
It's
this
just
is-
friends talking with people we've never met before and learning about them, their experience with games and stuff like that, and seeing how it relates to us growing up with games. It's not work. Just meeting new people and having a good time with it.
Same.
And having a nice tasty beverage.
I'm all out.
Yeah.
I'm out of beer.
I finished my tequila. So
I still got another.
No, we love it, man. We love it.
It's great.
it's the best.
Nah, man.
It's the best.
And
Talking
speaking-
games with the people you grew up
From
with, man.
Denmark, London, Cali,
all over the world. Man.
Philly, anywhere, whatever.
Canada.
It's surreal. It's
Yep.
surreal.
Yeah.
We love it.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys in the chat, man. for
Yeah.
asking
Yeah.
this question.
And speaking of which, how did you start in the gaming industry, like at Ubisoft? How did you get in there?
Oh, that was
people don't
a
know
total
how.
fluke. I still can't believe I got the job. I was like, what the heck? So like, I did at university. I studied computer animation, so I did a bit of that, and I was like, don't know if I like this, but I'll see where it goes. And I also did a bit of team testing for Team 17, who do like the Worms games.
Oh, Team 17,
So-
yeah.
Yeah. So they were based like half an hour from my house in this really weird little town in the middle of nowhere. It was super weird. But they did play testing, so that's where you go in like every month or two, play the game, give feedback as a player. So it's not like a job, it's not paid, it's like getting player feedback basically. And I was like, that'll look great on my CV, and I'll get to see what a game studio's like, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And I went there. They were super friendly. They let me play the game before it was released and stuff, and I understood a bit about like game testing. Not a lot though, to be honest, but enough to have a game company on my CV and be like, I have stepped foot in a game company, so that's a thing. And then I played. So there's Ubisoft Reflections, which is based in Newcastle, which is like a couple of hours from where I grew up, and it's a fairly large studio. It's got like over 200 people at it, and they do a lot of like collaborations with other studios, because Ubisoft always does co-development, so there'll always be multiple studios working on the game at once, because they're huge, and different studios have different expertise and stuff like that. I applied for the job, and it was for Just Dance, and I'd played a bit of Just Dance, which was helpful, because I got to the interview and they were like, cool, here's some questions, also can you dance to Just Dance and like tell me what's broken with the game? And I was like, I am not prepared for this level of embarrassment.
Oh man.
It was like Rihanna, you know Rihanna's Disturbia?
Yes.
Yeah,
of course.
Like dun dun dun, dun. And I was like, I can't believe this is a job interview. What the heck? Didn't expect it.
That's a unique job.
That's
Dude,
that's
that-
kind of
that's
cool,
out
man.
of control.
That's
right
hilarious.
there.
That's gotta be your
Well,
favorite song now.
Yeah.
So like Just Dance was hilarious to work on. I worked on one of the games where it has, do you know that What Does the Fox Say song?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only song in the game for a long time.
Oh
And
god.
I was like, I'm gonna perish. This is just horrible. I
Never heard
got
it
the
since.
job, and I was like, I really didn't expect it. It was one of the first companies I applied for. I just threw my CV in thinking nothing of it. Like, it's a huge company. I was like, I probably don't have a chance because I don't have any experience, but I managed to like read on Wikipedia what a game tester does and just pretend I knew and got the job. So
fake it till you make it.
That's awesome.
Moral of the story:
Dude.
fake it till you make it.
Fake it
y'all.
till you make
it's
it, yo.
my life motto. So I've used that
Google
from then on.
Google's your friend.
Don't know what I'm doing, pretend I know what I'm doing, it'll be fine.
Yes.
So I worked on Just Dance for like a year as a tester, and then after that I was on Watch Dogs for a couple of years. And that was really cool because that was like next gen platform, and people were really hyped about the game. And Watch Dogs 2 turned out super good as well. But I didn't work on Watch Dogs 2 actually, but they learned a lot from Watch Dogs 1. And then I was on the Division for a while and the Division 2. But by that time I'd done a lot of the Division, and I was like, that's a lot of Division. I'm gonna do something else.
Gotta move on.
I really like working with Ubisoft Massive, which are the lead studio. They are incredibly talented. They are very, very passionate about what they do. There's some people there that are just the top of their game with certain things. So it was really cool working with them. But yeah, that was my Ubisoft thing. I learned so much from being there. Like AAA is very different to indie. And when I moved to indie, that was really, really interesting as well, because the whole way that operates is totally different. And every different studio works differently. It's learning new stuff every time you go somewhere else. So that's interesting as well. I think I went off on a tangent there, but you've got my life story now.
That was fine.
No, the more info, the better.
I'm gonna use the restroom again.
Do you prefer working with the indie side or the more bigger budget towards the AAA? Which one do you prefer?
They're both different, and I like them both equally, which I know is like a really crappy answer, but like the nice thing about AAA was people knew what you were working on. People instantly were like, oh yeah, I know that game, and people even like random taxi drivers would know what Just Dance was and stuff like that. So it was really easy to like talk about the game. Some of the harder things about AAA was like seeing people's shitty comments about the game. Like, people would write things like, I bet the dev would never read this, and I've been reading it like,
The toxicity, man, is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like we
Did you tell them?
and I felt really bad that you didn't like that thing we did, and that was hard. Whereas with indie, like you still get that a bit, but like the communities tend to be a bit more understanding because you have that more direct relationship with the players, and you can just communicate with them. Although having said that, like I said, I'd had a really good relationship with some of the Division players that we worked with as well. So it's possible in AAA, but there is that level of just people being really, really annoyed at something you've done and they don't see that there's a person behind it in AAA. So that's not the best thing. But also you just learn to deal with that and learn that not everybody's going to like what you do and not everything that you intended to do is going to work out exactly how you expected. You definitely learn from that. It's the same with indie as well. When you put anything out and you're like, I didn't realize players would like that or not like that, and you learn from every game that you put out for sure. So
Did you tell them it was a good idea to bring out Usher for E3 and do that performance?
I was at one of the E3s where they brought some guy out for Just Dance. I can't. Was it Usher? Or, it was like Jason Derulo or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's not my thing that I did, but you do what you want to do.
Did you book that set? Was that your idea?
Just saying it wasn't so.
I can't claim that one.
Another question from the chat. What is your favorite snack food in the Silent Games office?
I eat a lot of like Japanese snacks. Like I only eat them. That's the thing. I went to Japan, brought back loads of snacks. Then we went into quarantine, went back, all the snacks are still there. And I was like, why are you all not eating my snacks? So I've still got snacks in the office from Japan, which I'm looking forward to eating when I get back.
Okay.
Yeah, like, so we've got a couple of vegans in the office. I'm vegan myself as well, so I've got to be careful what I eat. But yeah, it annoys everyone else that there's too many vegans in the office. Is this a cult? I don't understand.
The vegan cult.
Yeah.
Like, so the reason I'm vegan, I have a pet sheep. So
Wait.
Whoa,
A pet?
wait.
Did you just say a pet sheep?
She just threw it out there.
Yeah. Like, she's trying to do it. She's trying to say it fast, and I was like, wait, hold on.
Super casual.
Hold up.
You got a pet? You don't have a pet? You don't have a pet sheep?
I don't have a pet
You don't have a
sheep.
pet sheep?
I don't know
You
where
don't have a pet sheep? No.
I used no.
a pet sheep. That's unique.
That's cool.
yeah, my parents, like back in Bradford, they have we have the pet sheep. She's called Martha. She's very cute, and I was like, I can't eat you because you're too cute. So that's where I'm at with that.
Damn.
Yeah. She headbutts the postman. Every time we have someone to come round to the house to do something, they're like, "What the heck? Like, am I on drugs? I don't understand." So yeah, that's a bit.
That's one of those things you gotta get used to seeing. Like, I'm used to a dog, cat, or whatever. This is a sheep.
Yeah.
In
Does she
that
have like a
yard.
huge cotton
Dude,
coat?
Yeah. Which
I've heard
she'll like bar, and then there'll be people like looking through the fence, like trying to see what the heck that was, and they're like, "It's a sheep in this garden." So there's always people like looking in the garden, like, "What is that?" But she lives her best life. She's just like, she's so spoiled. We had this like plastic greenhouse, and she like headbutted it over, ate all the plants in it.
Wow.
She's a boss. Literally a boss. She could
They
be
bum rush. They
She a boss.
You ever see the videos of them bum rushing people?
Yes.
Hell yeah, they
Yes.
fuck people up.
No,
They
they'll
can
fuck
be
you up.
Dude.
honestly.
I would not go near
They're
them. They
not happy.
will fuck up my shins, my knee.
They know,
That's
they know what they're
hilarious.
doing. They know what they're doing.
I can't remember how we got onto that, but it had to be in here somewhere.
I
They
always
always
thought the mailman
That
was
is too
like
funny.
afraid of the dog. Remember, like the whole saying, like the
Yeah, mailman's usually afraid of the
afraid
dog.
of the
Yeah,
dog.
dog in the
You
yard.
go to the house,
But nah, you
you're
got
not
a sheep. You got a sheep.
Yeah.
If we see a sheep in any of your games, we're gonna know that
Yep.
that's like
That's a good Easter
a
egg.
hidden Easter
That's a
egg.
good
Yeah.
Easter
That it's
egg.
Martha.
In the demo, we've got a pig, and I called it Martha. I'll have to put a sheep
Oh,
in there.
there you go.
Oh, okay, that's an Easter egg. Okay.
Yeah.
You hear it first.
That's funny.
I've been holding long enough. I can't do it anymore. Try.
Just
Enjoy.
go. Just
I don't
go.
have my depends, man.
Just do it.
Enjoy.
The
Just
seal
do it.
has been broken.
It feels good.
Sally, another question from the chat. Did you attend any of the E3 events, and did you meet any of the star players?
What's E3? That's gone.
Wow.
Gone.
Wow.
I went to I can't remember what year it was because that year was crazy. But before the Division got released, I went to E3 and I was on the Microsoft booth. So I was like talking players through the demo experience that we had. It kept crashing all the time. It was very upsetting. But players really liked it, and I've met some of the star players because we did this program called the Elite Task Force where players who were fans of the Division would come into the studio and help us like develop the game, give their opinions on the current state of the game, because obviously Division is a game as a service game, so we can change things with patches and stuff like that. So players would come in and we'd chat to them about what they were interested in changing and all that kind of stuff. So I met some of the star players and players just in general that way. And yeah, that's how I know some of them. And I know some of them like online as well. They just like comment on my stuff now and then. So yeah.
Ah, man.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
Do you prefer games as a service or single player or like traditional co-op?
Well, I think that there are lots of positives to game as a service, but there's cons as well. Like this is a big topic, but like I think some of the trust between players and developers has been lost a little bit with the introduction of kind of aggressive like microtransactions and download content that they feel doesn't have value. And like I mean, back in the day, games were expensive, so they're still getting really good value from my perspective because I see how much they cost, so I know that I know they're getting good value. And game as a service can kind of be seen as a negative thing because of that reputation that might exist. But also it just means that you can constantly give back to players, you can listen to their feedback, and you can react to it in a way that means that they feel like you're listening to them. And I think there is ways to do download content that players feel like has value. Like The Witcher had some amazing download content that everybody was happy to pay for because it was incredibly in depth and felt like they put a lot of time and effort into it, and it wasn't just like a cash grab. So I think there's definitely ways to do game as a service that benefits players and is genuine and honest and isn't a cash grab and allows you to build that long-term relationship with players. So
I can kind of agree with you because Tetris 99 is you can only get that if you have the online
Subscription.
No, you can buy it by itself too now.
Well, you can, but you have to have the online service to
Yeah.
have that, and it's like, and they've done a good job of adding like every couple of months or so they'll add a new mode, they'll add new like
the evolution
tournaments,
of it,
and
just to build off.
it's
what people
grown
want.
from when it first came out to like now. It's like it's very different from when it first came out. So it's like, I'll be like, if you're a fan of the game, like you're like the fans will be willing to pay for that service.
There's also Anthem though.
I mean, I have opinions on that.
Except
for Anthem, yeah.
There's two sides of it.
Well,
There's a way that
except
you
for
don't
that.
go with the crowd, and a way that you can build and move with the crowd.
Yeah,
One day I'll play Anthem.
They can fix it though. They can fix it.
They can, but will it
can
be
fix
worth
it.
it, or throwing money in a hole?
The question will be, will it be better than Crackdown 3?
Not.
That's
so
not even
far.
a question. That's not even a question.
I wouldn't.
It's
I
not
don't
gonna
know. I don't
The
know.
answer is no.
Oh, man.
I answered that right now.
That's rough. Man.
But it all depends on how people, how the developers listen to
Yeah.
the audience, and if they can work with them, and if it's not like, depends on if they can create something to make them want to come back to it, rather than be a cesspool and just be negative. Like it comes down to a lot of the community.
That's
Yeah,
the new
yeah,
thing.
yeah, definitely. You have to think about how the community reacts to your games, how they play together. I think that was what a lot of what I was talking about before. Like, it's if you have this community that feels like you feel upset every time you play the game because someone's been nasty to you, you're not going to come back regardless of whether the content is good or not. So it's definitely a really important consideration, I think.
Yeah, and I think if you could form a connection with the people you're playing with, and especially if you can come back and play with those people, like you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
that definitely makes a huge difference rather than just jumping in with some strangers and like, let's go.
What was the name of that game that you were saying before with the positive messages that you were getting back?
The message game.
What was
Oh,
it?
kind words.
Kind words. That's it.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
words.
Stuff like that, that's asynchronous. And like Animal Crossing actually does asynchronous multiplayer really well. And it's funny because like you would never think to put systems from a game like Animal Crossing that's considered casual into a AAA game. But I play all types of games. I don't like restrict myself to playing a certain genre or anything like that. And there's things in Animal Crossing that could totally work in a AAA game. It's just never the two shall meet for some reason in the industry. But I think, you know, being able to take those experiences and take the positive aspects of those casual games and put them in a AAA game or a AA game, I think that'd be super interesting. Like, Animal Crossing has such a wholesome community. Like, everyone's really supportive. You control people if you want to, but it doesn't happen that often because the game encourages you to be nice. So I feel like that could exist in a different space.
And steal your stuff? Don't they steal your stuff?
People can troll. It happens. But generally speaking, my online experience with Animal Crossing has been generally good. So,
That's good.
I've never played an Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Same.
Me neither.
I know it's popular.
Yeah.
Same.
I played The Sims a little bit when I was younger, but never Animal Crossing. And it's funny how they're very close, but there's so much difference.
I never
But
played.
I never played Harvest Moon. I never played any of those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess it's in the same type of category.
yeah, like Stardew Valley and stuff. That's incredible.
Yeah, Stardew Valley.
Valley,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
right.
big one.
The same kind of vein of being like very, very wholesome kind of games, like feel good games, and they have nice communities. And I think that part of that is the nature of the game, not just the systems of the game. It's like a wholesome game, so people are more. It's not competitive, for example, so people are more likely to be nice because of that. But I think there is systems that perpetuate that as well, that are clearly designed by somebody for that reason. So.
And there's room for all of them.
Yeah. Animal Crossing has had like so much, like, for example, Victor Lucas was on CNN talking about since you know the pandemic
Came out at the right time.
yeah, Animal Crossing
great
popped out the
timing.
right time, and people have had like weddings in
Oh, yeah.
Animal Crossing, and
Oh, yeah.
like they've had so many different
Multiple weddings.
yeah, and it's crazy. It's fascinating.
Multiple
How
The divorces in Animal
they've had
Crossing.
divorces and like custody battles on Animal Crossing. Like, what the fuck is going on?
child support payments.
Child
something like
support payment.
That's when art imitates life.
Exactly.
That's my garden. You're not taking
Dude,
my
I almost
garden.
spit up. I almost spit up my beer.
I want half.
I almost spit up my beer.
Like, man, I'm just trying to play a game. Why are you asking for half right now? What's going
Why do
on
you
here?
have multiple wives? I didn't know you
Polygamy.
had this
I go
island.
on. I play Animal Crossing. I have the 5 wives. Wait, what?
What is this other island?
It's the
Whose
Mormon
island is
version of Animal Crossing. The Mormon version.
The Mormon version of Animal Crossing.
Yes.
this? I just visited
the
this
polygamy.
island randomly, and I see you here with this.
There's a polygamy DLC.
If you can't afford alimony for
I think
5
it's a
wives,
good thing you all don't play Animal Crossing because you've just turned it into something I would never
Yeah.
love.
This is why
Sorry,
I don't
sorry.
play Animal Crossing. It's funny. Our friend of the show, Jammer, who's been on the show before, I was watching one of his streams playing Animal Crossing, and I was in his chat, and I'm like, oh, this is this cool. You got all your people watch his channel and doing
yeah.
your thing, and I was like,
It's all community.
I'll say, can you attack anybody? He's like, no. I'm like, really? Damn, I can't mess with this. I need to attack somebody. I'm like, I don't know if that says a lot about me, but I'm like, I gotta just do something to somebody.
It's not that
Take
type of
your
game.
garden
It's not
hoe
that
and like
Yeah, the
smack
worst
somebody.
you can do is like hit him with a shovel, which you kind of can do. You have like this butterfly net, and you can like hit people with it, but it's like bad etiquette.
Like, I can't
stop
throw
it.
someone in the
That's
water
like
or
in,
something. Like,
stop
come
that.
on.
It's like
man.
in Fable where you can like kick the
Yeah,
the
you
chicken.
kick the chicken.
Is
Get
it
out of here,
in the
chicken.
egg?
Like, oh
You're
man,
bad.
I'm a bad guy
I
now.
just keep
They
doing
should
it.
let you be a good or a bad person.
Then I'd play some Animal Crossing. Isn't that terrible?
Well,
The
sad
worst thing you
is,
can do is go to someone's like town and pick all their flowers. That is like a sin. You have if you do that in the Animal Crossing community, you're like blacklisted.
That would be me. But like, give me that flower.
I kind of want to do that.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Yo, we'll raid. Me and you will go to. Give me that flower.
You will
Oh, those
get
flowers look
the whole
nice.
community will just be like, absolutely not.
Level 857 banned from Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So let
You
me
see level
understand
857 in Animal Crossing?
Banned.
y'all are gonna
Got
get
it.
Animal Crossing so you can do a flower raid.
Let's get a flower raid going.
Let's get a flower right
Y'all
Okay.
never had
Let's
no
start it.
flower raid before?
in
start it
games,
right now.
in games like that, I would search for something bad to do. Like,
You have to.
well, listen, like in The Sims,
Sorry.
I think it was like Sims 3 or whatever. I would build like 4 walls around somebody,
Yeah.
nothing in there, and just wait. And they're like, I gotta go to the bathroom. You can't go to the bathroom. And they're like, I gotta eat. I'm hungry. You can't eat.
I don't
Character's
tell you.
dead.
I gotta go to sleep. There's no bed.
I don't
You
tell
just
you.
watch them.
And then they turn into a ghost, and I'd be like,
Yo, what is wrong with you?
and then I put somebody else in there to get haunted by the ghost. It's It's not how you're supposed
This
to
is
play.
why we
No,
don't play
no,
these
no.
games.
Or-
Yeah, we don't develop
We
games.
can't
We
play
know
these
we-
games.
Or,
Yeah.
or I got another one. I would put them in the pool, and then take the ladder out,
Oh, no, that's
so they
not
so they
right.
can't get out the pool, and then it would just happen. Or I would let the kid go and make food on the stove. They don't know how to cook.
Did,
It just catches fire.
You never
and they're
put-
like, and then they burn in the fire. That's how I play The Sims.
See, I thought I was sick, and
You know
then
what's
Jay
fucked up?
just went on a whole
yeah, you just
rant.
took it on a
Yeah,
new
you
level,
just-
man.
you just went
I
on
don't know
here.
what the fuck you did.
This is telling
But-
me you guys need to play my game, so I need to make sure it's like mean proof. Like,
Oh,
you
yes,
do the worst
yes.
things possible.
yeah.
Oh no, no.
And if you
yeah.
can't do it,
Don't
I'll know
do
that it's fine.
I play games the wrong way, so
I do have a question for you though.
no,
For you.
I'll break games.
Sticks. You ever played Roller Coaster Tycoon?
I play Deception.
Oh god.
Deception, you're supposed to do stuff with it. No, I did play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
You did?
I made them all throw up. Yeah.
Oh,
You put them in a
I'm
whole
not
bunch of
surprised.
loops. You put them in a bunch
I'm
of
not
loops.
surprised.
They get out and then they all throw up everywhere.
I'm not
Clearly,
surprised, yeah.
these guys all need to play kind words.
yeah,
Hey,
get
I
on
can play kind words.
please. You
I can
need
play
it
kind
more than I
words.
Oh
do.
no, I'd be good on that.
It's
You
I-
can't hurt. You can't hurt anything.
no,
in
it's
kind
therapy.
words.
It's therapy.
I'm a very positive individual.
Exactly.
And when it comes to playing games, it's just I just do
different, though.
terrible things.
I don't
in
post.
games.
I don't post negativity or
It's
anything.
like a stress ball. It's like a stress ball. You
Remember-
squeeze it.
That's why you play Grand Theft.
All right. So, when we had Lucy on, okay, I tried to. I
You
mean,
were mad evil.
Oh,
well, no,
dude.
I tried to
Dude.
explain to her.
Oh, here we go. This
okay?
story's great.
All right.
You're gonna incriminate
All right,
yourself.
all right.
Stop
Well,
it.
well, I want Sally's opinion here, okay? I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, okay? And I was I was headed to a town, and then someone popped out of the bushes and said, "Hey, I need help. I need help."
Possessed.
And he was like, "Yeah, if you could help me, go to this town." I said, "No problem, whatever." I'm on the horse, he's on foot, and I'm like, "Okay, we're walking for a while," and I'm like, let me just do a little circle around him, just see if I could just nudge him a little bit. I knock him over, right? And he's like,
You knocked him over.
I knocked him. I just jabbed him a little bit and knocked him over. And he
Sure.
said, "Oh my God, assault! I'm gonna report you." Da, da, da. I said, "Oh shit, what do I do? He's gonna report me." So I don't shoot him. I throw a lasso over him, right, just to tie him up and be like, I don't want him to report
I
me.
like where this is
Peaceful.
going.
No, it gets way worse.
It gets worse.
It gets way worse.
It's peaceful.
It's peaceful at first, and I'm like, all right. But I happen to tie him up like near a creek, and I'm like, all right, let me mess around a little bit. So
You don't tie someone up
course
and throw them
you
in
do.
water.
Hey, he's in the water.
hold on, it's not that deep. So I'm like, I'm gonna throw him in the creek a little bit just to see him like, oh, whatever. And so I throw him in the creek, and he's just like complaining. But the current's pretty strong, so it takes him, and it wedges him in between these two rocks. My man is dead. Hog-tied like this, neck broken like this. I said, "Oh shit!"
Does that make him a bad guy?
I was like, I didn't mean to kill him. I'm like, all right, let me get up out of here. And
Nope.
there's some
Nope.
guy,
Nope.
a sheriff.
Sheriff.
Hey, what are you doing over there? Instantly, pop, pop. And I'm like,
Now you're in a shootout. Now you're in a shootout. Because you
Stop
killed
it.
a man.
I killed two people, innocent people, when I tried to originally help out somebody. I'm like, this game. I can't. Since that moment, I'm like, I can't save anyone anymore because I want to do something stupid. And
Oh
at
my
least,
god, that's
But
so
the-
sad.
But the
That's horrible.
No,
This is like a confession now. It's
Well, no,
out there. The confession
I know it
is out
sounds
there.
bad, but to kind of defend you, I played the game. I beat it.
It's
also.
so easy to do something wrong.
They really put you in situations where you're just like,
You're walking to the store, you bump into someone, they're like, "Why'd you bump into
Yes.
me? Yo, you want to go?" It's
and
like,
then,
"No,
and then
I
you're just
don't."
like, no,
I don't.
want to fight,
But
I
I
wanna
will.
Fight. I want to.
Very aggressive.
I'm just trying to buy some groceries.
They're very
Yeah.
aggressive.
Help!
So the answer is to like casually lasso them in a friendly way, right?
No, but there's no
way.
friendly way because you're gonna be in a.
It's
in
like,
a-
don't report me to
Good
cops.
enough.
I'm just gonna tie you up and then throw you in some
and
water.
then there's a
Just
bounty
be-
on you, and then
That's
it's like,
an interesting method.
You could just be walking your sheep, and then somebody's like, "What is that? What are you doing with that?"
Exactly.
sheep?"
You talking shit about my sheep? Wop, wop.
Yeah,
Like,
if
what?
you talk shit about the sheep, absolutely not. They'd get lassoed and thrown in the.
See, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now you understand.
I would
See?
no hesitation.
There you go.
See?
There you go.
You get thrown in a creek, wedged
Yeah,
up between two rocks.
Sally, another
By
question
mistake.
from the chat. The best 3 video games you've ever played.
Ooh, I like that question.
That's a
'cause
hard question.
That's so hard. I mean, like, I love Zelda games, so I'm gonna say one of them. I played like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. It's gonna be one of them. I've got to put an honorary Zelda game in there.
Okay.
You make Turbo 857 very happy. He's the Zelda
Yes.
guy.
He's the Nintendo guy.
He's a Nintendo Zelda guy.
Majora's Mask is like one of my worst, but it's the Zelda, so it's,
Yeah, it's usually people's favorite, but like Ocarina of Time was the first one I played, and like playing that game when it came out, that was insane. Like the graphics were amazing. Obviously they're not amazing now, but like back in the day, I came home, my brother was playing it. I was like, what is that? Like, oh my god. So yeah, Zelda Ocarina of Time probably, because that was the one that super inspired me to.
no Breath of the Wild though. No Breath of the Wild.
No one played that system.
See, I liked it, but I don't know. Missed a bit of nostalgia for me.
But I did.
But they did a lot of like smart things with it, so it grew on me basically. Breath of the Wild.
Gotcha.
It's not the same as Ocarina of Time.
I also really like the Persona series. I don't know if you guys played any of the
Yes.
Personas.
Yes.
Those are
Persona
long games.
5 was
Very low.
Long.
Yes, yeah, you have to invest all of your time, and it's super weird, and it's super weird in so many
Yes,
ways.
yes.
But
You're a Japanese fan, yeah.
Five.
Definitely.
I never finished 5, but 5 was like
It was out there.
It was
Very
a lot of-
stylistic.
It was very like a lot of management, like
Yes,
relationship
yeah.
management. I was like,
I found that bit quite relaxing, and then you go and you're ready to like face the creatures in the dungeon, and you like come back and it's chill again. That loop means that I can just like play it for far too long. So
Very
yeah, and they've just really polished the Persona series to the point where they do make a lot of smart decisions in the game design. The UI design was insanely cool, and they really went out there with the UI design. A lot of companies play it safe to not offend anyone, but they just went full out like. And it's super cool, and I really liked it. So yeah, I'd say the Persona series is one of my favorites. And then the last one,
Final Fantasy VII remake.
what?
really?
I heard something.
Final Fantasy the remake was super cool, but I didn't play the original one, so I feel like I wasn't getting the same like nostalgia hit as everybody else.
Yeah.
This guy's
but
playing
yeah.
the old one just to see if he can get the nostalgia. Now. Just
Yeah,
now.
I'm doing it now, and
Yeah.
yeah, the
I told him to
remake,
hurry
though.
up. Hurry up.
I'm past the part in the remake, so I can actually start the
Hurry
remake
up.
and have it not spoil anything.
I know. I said to do
Yo,
it.
the original one is old though, man. It's old. It's very
Something
old.
to get into, man.
Yo, I love turn-based role
You
playing.
didn't play it on the PlayStation.
No, it's old.
Old.
You played
It's
the
old.
updated
It's old.
version of the old one. You didn't play the original.
It's old. Like I can't tell like the background. You can't tell if you're walking into the background and not. It's like I need those arrows to tell me where. And I'm moving the character to the arrows. And I'm like I can't get in here. I can't like.
Yeah, no,
The background's tough to tell where
old.
you
it's
can get into.
pre-rendered, man.
It's
muddy.
Yeah.
It's muddy.
Different time.
Dude, how the hell did I play that shit, man?
But what was your third?
I'm gonna say Dragon's Dogma. Like it is super good. Like I'm sure there'll be another one that I'll think of after this that I'll be just like, wait, no, this one. But because that's inspired the current game that I'm making to the point where I've talked to you guys about it, I'm gonna put that one on the list. It's really they've really thought about the players in that one. They've thought about how the players will interact with the game. There's just a lot of decisions that they've made that just bring so much depth to the game, and you can play it in so many different ways, and you can play it multiple times, and you can have so many different ways of, playing combat wise, and there's just so many smart things about it. So I'd say that for now. I bet we'll finish this and I'll be like, oh no, what about this thing? But yeah, that's
For anybody
that's
out there, what's your Twitter handle so that if you do decide like, oh,
Yes.
shit, I get you could just mention it on your Twitter account.
It's an easy Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, it's not. I've had
What
to
is it, by the
spell
way?
it out to people so many times.
Go ahead.
Like, so okay, I have to look at it myself because I won't remember.
Vialexia, right?
Yeah, it's Vialexia, but like, so it's Vialixia. And I picked that because like when you have like a username with like numbers in it, I didn't like that. So I was like, I'll make something up that's really weird, and then that would be a unique thing. So the only Vialixia on the internet is me, which is sometimes a bad thing. Like everybody can just find all of your stuff instantly, but this is where I am now. So
there you go.
yeah, it's really hard to
Hey.
remember. But yeah. That's my
Looking at
Twitter.
history,
I
you
just
can check
post
back
random
everything.
stuff, so it's sometimes there's game dev stuff, sometimes there's stuff about Japan, sometimes there's pictures of my sheep. So sorry, it's a mess.
That's all
Sometimes
interesting.
it's
Sometimes
That's
it's
all worth
sometimes it's the third game.
I need
the
to see
series that you
the.
like.
I need to see the sheep.
That's all the reason to follow.
That's it.
So the sheep has her own Twitter as well.
I saw it. I saw someone in the chat said they were on it.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
That's awesome.
That Twitter is unit. as in like you, as in a sheep, and then knit as in like knitting. You knit. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
you can see her like smiling. She's very cute.
Oh.
That's funny.
That's
a pet sheep.
So if you had a chance to make a game like Zelda,
Mm.
would you want to do something like that? Like that's a huge undertaking.
It's a huge undertaking. It's very hard to compete with something like Zelda that has so much like so many roots that it's set down, and all of the stuff that's in Breath of the Wild is stuff that there's lots of new stuff in there and stuff that they've taken inspiration from open world games generally. Like it had like the Ubisoft style towers in it, and I was like, what is this? That's what upset me at first, because I was like, I've left Ubisoft now. I don't want to see Ubisoft towers in my Zelda game. But you know, but then it had a lot of like learnings from what they've done in past Zeldas and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'd be able to compete with that legacy, if you know what I mean. But definitely there's inspiration. I really like the setting of it and just the characters, and like there's a lot of quirkiness to Zelda as well that I like. It's not afraid to like do silly stuff. So I think that change in pace is super important to like, because you don't want the game to be always like dark and upsetting and like stuff like that, or like just silly all the time. You want like changes in pace so that players get things that are unexpected in the game. So I think Zelda's quite good at that.
Yeah, it's a good mix of dark and funny.
Yeah. And the
yeah.
dark stuff is sometimes quite hidden. Like I've read so many like theories about Majora's Mask, and that's one of the darkest games. And like there's so many weird things that they've like suggested, or like fan theories about the game. So stuff like that I find really interesting when fans come up with like their own thoughts and their own perceptions about how some. I mean, Dark Souls is great for that as well. Like people probably about Dark Souls lore until like the earth ends, you know, like there's just so much depth to it. And I started watching like YouTubers talking about the lore of Dark Souls and like learning more about how they convey that to players through item descriptions and stuff. It's actually similar to what we're doing in a Life of Consequence, because it doesn't like have cutscenes and stuff. A lot of the lore is sort of fed to players in that way, so they can draw their own conclusions about what might have happened and piece it all together. And it's just cool to see when players do that. So
I've watched hours upon hours on Bloodborne and Dark Souls of people talking about what's going on in the game, because they don't like you said, they don't really explain it unless you go into all the text for all the items and all the little things they have in there. But it's crazy how much people can dive into it, and you know, it's
that's
ridiculous.
that's
pretty
just the
interesting way
passion.
It's crazy.
That's when you have a passion.
yeah.
When you have a product that's that good,
and that deep.
that's when you have the fans. That
But they'll come
that
out with
will-
stories you didn't even write. You're like, what
yeah,
the hell?
that's why I'm hoping, because I'm sure they'll do a better job than me. But like, you know, we are trying to convey that type of feeling where players will be able to figure stuff out for themselves and draw their own conclusions. We have plans for some really obscure side quests that would be very hard to find on your first playthrough. And you know, there's games where people like players have discovered stuff like 10 years later, and it's like, oh, if you do this and you click this and you have this item, but you talk to this person at this time, it reveals something. We've tried to design systems that do that, and that's a very old school thing to do, but stuff that players still really appreciate today, and I'm like trying to get that in the game. I don't know how obvious it will be, because it's hard to do that in a way that somebody will discover one day, but it's obvious enough to be discovered, sort of thing. So but there's stuff like that in our game as well.
They had a thing in Shadow of Colossus that took about 10 years for people to actually make happen, because there was so much stuff that they dug into in that game, like even of like stuff that wasn't finished. They made stories about that, and they did it so much that community, when they did the remake, they said, let's go back into what they were doing in that community and add something just for those guys to find later.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
They added a new
cool
weapon
Easter
in
egg.
there at the end that literally was like 10 years after they actually thought that was supposed to be in the game.
That's cool.
Wow.
Just for them.
That's
And
like
they
a
named it.
love letter.
They named
just for
it.
those people.
They named
it
it
shows
after
so-
the guy. They named it
players.
after the guy, his name
Oh.
on there. It was crazy.
Wow.
Oh, that's like my favorite thing. It just shows so much respect for the player base, and like
Yes.
the way that they've looked at your game and the time they've spent thinking about your game. That's that makes me feel so nice when people do that. Like I would love someone to do that with my game. So yeah,
That's
that'd
cool.
be really cool if that happens.
All right. So guys, you gotta work on that. You gotta dig deep in this game when it comes out.
Dig deep.
Yeah, there'll be hidden stuff. There'll be all sorts. Yeah, it's gonna
That'd
be
be
interesting.
awesome.
I'll bring my shovel.
A life
Yes.
of consequence.
Dig
You
deep.
gotta-
Dig
I
deep.
get it.
You good, right?
I get it.
Sally.
We get the joke.
I get the joke.
Good.
Will Life of Consequence be available as an early access game? Another question from the chat.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
It depends on what a publisher wants to do ultimately, because we're not marketing people. They will have a good idea of the best time to release stuff, the best strategy for like getting people hype about your game and things like that, and getting players' hands on it. Like, I really care about what players think of the game and like their feedback. So early access can be a way to do that, but you can also peak the hype too soon, and if it's not finished enough, people get a bad impression of your game. So it's a very
Right.
it's a balancing act to get that
Definitely,
right,
that
and I
is.
wouldn't want to release something that didn't give the right impression of the game, because it is meant to have so much depth, like not just in the narrative but also in the combat and the items that you can have and the synergies between loads of different weapons and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how a publisher might want us to do that. Definitely they'll probably make a better call than I will marketing wise about how that should go, because early access has like success stories and then like failures where people have been like, it's not finished and we hate it, and it's like, yes, it's early access, obviously it's not finished, but you know, it can change the perception of your game. So, but I'm glad people are asking stuff like that, like when's the demo, when's early access, because
Yes.
it shows you're
Yes,
interested,
definitely.
which is very nice. Thank you very much.
No, that's good, man. That's good.
All right. Any other questions from the chat?
No, I think I covered everyone's questions.
No, that's
Or
also
Sally just covered them.
Throwing everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
While she was talking.
That's awesome.
All right.
No, that's awesome.
Even questions about the sheet.
Oh yeah,
All that.
that's the
No,
important stuff.
It's always good to hear a developer or any studio that's like transparent about everything that they're doing. It's always worrying when you
When they're
don't
quiet.
when you don't hear anything. It's very worrying, and especially like we were saying before with the Battletoads,
Yeah.
it's like we haven't heard anything. In
Well, your thoughts don't go to the positive side.
Yeah,
When,
no,
when you
so
don't hear
when
it.
you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
When you don't hear
So,
it.
you know, take it as you wish, but like when you hear, well, like for the gamers out there, like when they hear stuff, even if it's not ready, even if it's like, oh, this is a year or two or whatever out, it's not going to be ready for whatever, just something, just
When they hear your passion,
Communication.
they get excited.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they hear your passion, they'll be excited.
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
And gamers are the most impatient people in the
Oh, yeah.
entire world.
Oh yes, yes.
They want it. They want it now.
Very
They want it
entitled.
now.
We all are. We all are. Yeah,
So
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So
But
Very
they,
impatient.
they
Well,
have
we
to
are too,
understand.
man.
They have to
So
understand it takes
spoiled.
time for
Yes.
perfection. Man.
Yes.
It takes time
Yo,
for perfection.
if my favorite game is announced and they postpone it like 5 times, that's fine.
Just talk about it.
Don't release it. Don't release it when it's not ready.
Yes.
Don't even show a screenshot.
I
of
don't
it,
want
man.
something that's not ready to go.
Agreed.
Listen,
The
yeah, I
internet
agree.
will
I agree with
turn
you.
on
And,
it.
and I'm so backlogged. I got 10 games to catch up on in the meantime.
Listen,
So
this
what
is
the hell?
I'm
This is the-
backlogged, but
And this is the thing, though. Say they said, okay, I want to know everything about it right now. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. You show them what you got, and they're like, oh, that doesn't look finished. I was like, but you asked.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not
it's not
finished.
done.
Do you know what not finished means?
I don't want to show you right now, so
That
it's
is
not
true.
done.
This
Oh,
is
no,
why
it's
I
not-
didn't show you.
It's not done. It's not. It doesn't look good. It's like it's not done. It's not done.
But if it's not, it's all about communication.
I'll just tell you. Listen, I'm working on it.
it's
Yep.
not ready yet.
When it's ready, it's ready.
Although,
not ready yet.
although, if you announce something 4 years before it's done, like Metroid Prime 4,
Yeah.
Well, no,
and
no,
then
no.
say nothing about
They
it.
didn't announce anything. They just
No, they
said,
just
they
showed
just
a
showed the
picture.
logo.
But that's
Oh yeah,
bad.
that's really annoying when they do that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
don't show me a
Well,
logo. I want to see a
Well,
little
in
bit
their
of the game,
defense,
please.
for 2
You
reasons.
can say it's in development.
They did say
It's too early.
that they were like, at the beginning, they're like, no, we had something. We didn't like it. We
Scrapped
scrapped
it.
it.
They
We're
killed it.
starting from the beginning. Then the pandemic happened. So I can't get
No, I
mad.
know, I know.
So it's like,
Bro.
I can't get mad at it. When it's ready, it'll
but the
be
internet,
out.
but the internet will turn on you.
Of course.
That's
In a heartbeat.
Of course.
When
The
that
internet
happens.
is so fickle. Like I am kind of worried about that. I feel like as long as you're honest and genuine, you should be
Yes.
all right. But they will
Yes.
turn on you for like one thing that you haven't even thought of sometimes,
But if
and
you-
you just
Oh,
like,
we don't care
"I'm
about those
sorry,
people."
I don't know.
No, but if you stay true, if
Screw
you-
those people.
What I
Listen.
was getting at was
Yeah.
if you stay true
Hmm?
and you're transparent and you just stay true, if it's not ready, it's not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were pretty honest. You said, "Hey, it's not going to be ready for a couple of years." But we have a demo out, but it's only in a small group that have, friends or whatever. That's awesome.
Pre-publisher demo.
That's
Pre-publisher.
that is
So
awesome.
early.
No,
Yeah.
that is good. That's what people want to hear. You don't want to hear oh, this is, because
said this, and,
Right.
and you're not coming out with it.
You don't wanna get-
Shut up and play the other games that
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
backlogged with. Shut up. Just
you
shut
don't
up.
want to get people's
Play the games.
expectations too high.
You're
and then
spoiled.
You get people's expectations too high, and then that's when
You know what it is? I was
when it ruins
I was in the chat of the PlayStation reveal.
No,
Showcase.
don't turn off.
No, I was in the
That's
chat
bad.
of the
That's
Xbox reveal. I was in the chat of the Amico reveal. All of them.
No,
I
it's
was
always
I
that.
was in the chat of
Any
the
chat.
the mini Nintendo Direct reveal. All of them went from
toxic.
oh I'm excited, and those people who are positive got drowned out by didn't show this.
Oh,
They
of
didn't
course.
show this.
All the
They
time.
didn't show this.
All
It's
time.
not
Oh my God.
60 frames.
How
toxic.
this system is done. It's over. Like
It's toxic. It's
what
toxic.
basement?
Don't go into those.
What basement with no windows are you like saying this from? You've never left the house. You
what
haven't left
cellar-
the house.
what cellar
Before
did
the
you-
pandemic, you haven't left the house.
They have a painted window with hell in it.
Yeah, exactly. Your whole room is like flames. You know, like painted flames. You don't even know what anyone looks like.
But our chat is awesome.
Quick shout out to Suave Nerd and Sarumaru.
They just
Oh,
jumped in.
Saru Maru
going
and
on, y'all?
Suave Nerd. What's
What's
good,
going on,
Suave
y'all?
Nerd? Suave Nerd, I gotta play you in Smash. You've been playing Turbo and Chalk. I gotta knock you up a bit.
I got
Pause. Heavy pause on that one.
I got another question for Sally.
Knocked up.
As the founder,
Stop it.
as the founder of Women Making Games Northeast, how important is it for you to represent ladies in gaming these days?
I think it's important just because I feel like having diversity in that way just makes things more interesting. You're not like getting one person's perspective, you're getting a mix of different perspectives. And I've been gaming since I was a kid, and some of the spaces were a little bit unwelcome, to be honest. Like, it definitely wasn't. I mean, it was unwelcome for everyone, because when you're a gamer back then, you're a nerd, right? So it's like nobody was welcome. Like, everyone was like, you're a nerd. Whereas like gaming now is much more mainstream. It's like watching a film and stuff like that. So everyone of any gender were like subject to that kind of thing. But I definitely feel like there is a place for it at the moment. There's loads of conversations about like the importance of diversity in the industry and how it is good for business and things like that. And I know that some players feel it's not important, and some people feel it's talked about too much, and like that's fine. It's okay if people have a different perspective on it. But to me, like, I've seen the difference it can make to women who are in the industry. Like, we have a lot of people who've just joined and they have a lot of questions and they need that level of mentorship, and they need to ask specific stuff like, hey, this guy said this thing to me. Is that like an acceptable thing? Or how should I handle that? Or something maybe uncomfortable. How should I express that in a way that'll lead to a good resolution, and stuff that you've been through yourself that you can help someone with. And I've definitely found that with Women Making Games, that's the opportunity for that to happen. And like, obviously in the industry, I've worked with mostly men, and they've all been wonderful as far as I'm concerned. Very, very supportive, and you know, they support what I'm doing with Women Making Games. They don't feel like left out or annoyed that I'm doing it. Like, where's my man making games thing? They don't.
awesome.
They're not like
awesome.
that, you know. They're really supportive, and so that's cool. And I'm not going to pretend like sexism and things like that don't exist in the industry, but like setting up a place where you can handle it and you can, you know, talk about it, vent about it, and solve it is a good thing, while it's still present. And yeah, I'm grateful to everyone that I've worked with that has been good about it. So, yeah.
Have you seen the diversity improve since you started?
Yeah, I mean, like when I joined, even talking about it annoyed people. Like, they were like, I'm sick of, like, it wasn't I'm sick of hearing it. It was like, why are we talking about this? Like, it was pretty much like women just don't like games, or women are not interested in games. I'm like, they might be, but obviously the people making games are not women, and the way that we're marketing games are not towards a wider audience. And I'm not saying like change your game in any way for that reason. Like, I want developers to make what they want to make, so I don't believe in like forcing people to do stuff with their games they don't want to do. But at the same time, I think it's interesting to tell different stories, and the game industry for a long time, with a few notable exceptions, went in the same direction. And the fact that it's changing, I do think it is getting better. But I know that the conversation annoys people as well, so I'm conscious of it. Like, I don't want to rub people up the wrong way with my ambitions for having a more diverse industry, and it does that, which is a shame, because I know that people who talk about it have good intentions as well. So it can be a mixed bag. It can be a bit mixed bag, but I think it's getting better overall, and I think people are more accepting. I like when I do stuff like this, I don't really get any comments about it. People just don't care, and that's all I want is for people to just not care. Like
game.
It's about the game. I always love the game. I'm making a game. That's all I want to talk about.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, and when we get to that point, I'll know that we're done.
What was it? The director of God of War, female. She was a female director. I didn't give a shit. I didn't even know it was a female director. She was the director of the recent God of War.
I don't care who it is.
I didn't.
To be honest.
It didn't
Like,
matter,
whatever, man.
But you know what? Whatever.
Yeah, there's
We're all
a trend
passionate about
where, like,
games. That's all that matters.
But
There's
the
a
more you
trend
get
where,
to a point,
like, God of War was amazing, right? So the fact that that was the thing, nobody said anything. But when the game is not good, they will try.
Blame the woman.
Blame the woman. Well, then you have a problem there. Right?
That's
No,
an
but-
embarrassing thing that happens.
No, but honestly, it's like that was an amazing. Like the last God of War,
That's
awesome game.
incredible.
So it's like
Amazing.
she was the director. She
Yeah.
she did the whole.
Incredible
she was the
game.
one in charge of that.
If Life
Man.
of Consequence is bad, it'll be my fault. If it's great, it'll be the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like, yeah, whatever.
No,
It's like find the woman and
It's
blame
not a
her.
movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a movie.
If it was a guy, it would have.
No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
They watch the credits at the end looking for the women.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's her.
It was that.
I need
She
a name.
ruined it.
Give me a name.
She ruined it.
But yeah, that's a conversation that needs to continue. I know it's not easy to have, but it has to continue.
Well, it's
Yeah.
glad that
We
you
got-
offer
we
a
gotta do
space.
better.
It's glad that you offer
No.
a space for people to actually talk about it
Yes.
anyway. So
Yeah.
And the fact that you're transparent about what's going on with your game, that's awesome. That right there is like,
how do you juggle all that stuff?
She a
But I
boss.
don't,
She a
like,
boss.
I'm so bad at it. Like, I'll just say yes to everything. I can't. I just work so much. It's like, why have I done this to myself?
That's the best answer ever. I don't know what the
Why have
hell
I
is
done this
going
to my-
on.
That's funny.
How do you juggle it?
I've
I
got,
just say yes.
People that I mentor, and I always say to them, work-life balance is so important. Like, make sure you take care of yourself, take breaks, and then I don't do that. Myself.
Not even during the
It's a bad,
pandemic.
It's like,
bad thing.
wow.
Do
Working
that.
harder during the pandemic than anything.
Yeah. No, a lot. Hey, listen. A lot of people got that going on, man.
Vacation's got to come soon. That's all.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you gonna go though? I'm just.
Where you
Sorry,
gonna
I didn't
tell
want
us.
to. I didn't want
Everything
to
closes
go to
at
the
8
dark
o'clock.
place there,
You
man.
need to escape. Don't tell anyone.
Stamp your passport, go to your kitchen. Stamp your passport again, go to your living room. Third stamp, go back to the bedroom.
You're working so much, you have a different house in all these places, so it doesn't matter.
Play the demo of Life of Consequence.
So listen, when
Whenever-
Silent Games,
whenever we can get
when
it.
Silent Games builds up to a AAA studio and you make that Zelda killer,
Yeah.
we'll all be anticipating and waiting for it.
That's good. I'll shout out to
Wow.
you because you were the
Marketing
first stream I did, and you'll get the credit as well. I'll be like,
Yeah.
Right, the
I'm,
end credits.
I'm
You're like,
literally
thanks,
making a list of, in case it's a good game and people like it and it gets big, I'm
Marketing,
making a
right?
list of everyone that helped us out so I can like put you all in the credits and be like, thank you for believing in us in this very early stage. So you'll be all on that.
Oh, yes.
No, but it's
If it's negative, it'll say it's these guys who made this.
I'll be like, give me the heat. Give me the heat.
We want
no. My favorite is the level guys.
The level guys.
The level guys. Wait, what?
The level guys.
We didn't even get the numbers. We don't get the numbers. No, just the level
What the
guys.
hell does that even mean?
I don't know.
Level guys.
I don't know.
Come on, man.
We want all the smoke.
The
Give me
level,
the smoke.
the level guys.
I'll send them your way. I'll send them your way.
Nice, we
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, no, we got.
They'll be
we got it.
blocked.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Yeah,
It's not the
seriously,
first
it
time.
won't be the
It
first
really
time.
hasn't been the first.
And it
time.
won't be the last.
And it won't be the last.
No,
No.
definitely not.
That'll be awesome though.
We want the smoke.
We're definitely looking forward to whatever you guys are working on.
Absolute.
Hell yeah.
Any questions in the chat? Any other questions?
I think
No?
we're good.
No.
I think we're good.
I have
Chat?
one final question.
No,
to
we're
ask
good, we're
Sally.
good. That's all.
One final
Just cutting
question.
you off. Right?
Now, Sally, I know that you've done a lot of work with women making games.
There we go.
You yourself are a woman.
Yes,
who's very,
she is. Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. Who's very
She-
accomplished in a mostly male-dominated industry. So I want to ask you a question about Zelda, since you're a fan of that.
Okay.
Every time a new Zelda game comes out, there's this heated debate that comes on forums that's like,
I know
Why-
what this is going to be.
why can't Link have a female option?
Ah.
Yeah.
You know, some people want that to happen. I have my own opinion about it. I was interested what you thought about it.
For me, I would like to play as Zelda. She's an established female character. She's already awesome. Like, she's got her own backstory. She's got her own cool stuff going on. I would love
Yeah.
to play as Zelda. I could understand if there was a female Link, because obviously Link's a descendant in lore of previous Links. I
Yeah.
guess that could easily be a woman.
Yeah.
And you could represent yourself that way. And Link is, I know that they designed Link in a way that meant to be the link to the player, so it meant to be this kind of husk that represents you. So that would be the argument for not having Zelda as the female character, because she has her own thoughts, feelings, backstory, and all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'm not demanding it. But I would like to play as Zelda.
I'm more along that lines as well. I'm like, Zelda's a strong character. Okay. You know, I'm like,
She had such a bad game though
no, it's what?
for the 3DO.
Oh God!
Yeah, we ain't gonna, that never.
Oh,
that, we
man,
ain't gonna
that
talk
never
about
happened.
that.
That never
We-
happened.
That never happened.
That never happened.
I
Didn't
like
they-
that from memory.
Oh yes, I think we all have. Didn't they have a female Link in the?
Linkle. And
They have Linkful in Hyrule Warriors.
that was like a troll character for all the people who are asking for a female
Yeah.
Link.
No, in the one in the
one?
in the Super Nintendo Link to the Past, they made didn't they make a? This was a hard drive system. They made a female Link who had pink hair.
I don't know if it's canon.
It was a remake of
Yeah, I
it was
don't
a remake of Legend of Zelda
Right. And they
by
made-
Nintendo. Yeah.
Interesting. Very
But
interesting.
it was only for their satellite system.
But yeah, I'd rather just Link should just he's always been a guy. I think should just keep him that way. I think I understand the argument to make him a woman and everything like that for female characters, players to feel more I guess aligned with the character, whatever like that. But I think it would be too much of a political statement if they did that now after 20-something odd years.
Yeah.
It would
Series.
certainly annoy people. Like,
Yes.
I think you could make it work. With
was
like,
CDM.
it's a descendant of previous
could
generations,
make it
and
work.
and it's weirder that it's not a woman; it's always a man. Because when you have kids, it's not always a man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it just kind of
yeah.
ends with. But you know what I mean. But I understand why people would feel it was political if they did that, and it would annoy people. Probably wrongly that people care, but like.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know,
got to
but
have a
I
Prince-
would like to play Zelda.
Yeah, like
You'd have to have a Prince Zelda though.
Prince Belda or something.
Prince Zelda.
Did you say
Prince
Prince
Belda?
Belda?
What? All right.
Why would you change the name?
nah, it's like because come on,
It would
Prince
be
Zelda.
Prince Zelda.
It's a shame things
You
are
have a
going so
female
well.
Link.
He said Prince
Like,
Belda.
I don't need a male Samus. I'd be pissed if they made.
I was
Samus
about
a
to
male.
add that Samus should not be a male.
Don't have to.
Yeah.
It's never been a male. It should always be it's female.
But if
that's
they had
the
a different character,
If it was another character,
Yeah.
that's the same thing. Like Zelda's the other character,
Yeah.
so why not make Zelda playable? She's badass in
She's
Smash
bad.
Brothers.
She was-
She's strong
Well,
as
wasn't she-
shit.
Look,
in
I always
Ocarina of
play
Time,
Zelda
wasn't
in
she?
Smash. So.
She's powerful.
She was chic in Ocarina of Time, but she's also
But
very
she was
strong
fighting in
in
that, right?
Breath of the Wild.
She's
Think of it.
powerful.
In the beginning of that, she's
Don't ruin the game.
holding.
Don't ruin
No,
the
this is not a spoiler alert to anyone who's played Breath of the Wild. But in the beginning of the game, Zelda is keeping Ganon confined. Now, most people play this game for 250 to 300 hours, and during that whole
long time.
entire
She's
game,
chilling like this.
Zelda
Yeah,
is
it's like-
keeping
Hold it
Ganon
like this.
confined.
Boom.
What stronger female character is that?
That's badass.
But it should have a side story.
And then
downloadable
she
content.
steals him.
They
She
could
always
have-
steals him.
Why did they do downloadable content with her in it?
Yo, you heard his voice?
What? That was Zelda?
Why did they do DLC with that battle?
With which battle?
Well, her side story. You could have a side story. At least to introduce.
She
people
might
into
be a
being.
starring character
Listen,
in Breath of the Wild.
she's
too.
going to
Maybe.
be playable
Yeah,
in 2.
maybe.
You know it. You
Maybe.
know
It
she's
looked,
playable.
It looked like that might be a thing. I'd
You
be
That
so
would be an
interested
interesting
in
spin.
know she's playable.
Zelda's not going to cut her hair for nothing.
That would be an
Yeah.
interesting
You know what
spin.
I'm saying? She's
Yeah.
getting her hands dirty.
Why does she have to cut her hair?
Because she's going to handle weapons, the
Because-
swords sometimes.
like
You swing
hair
it back.
physics.
that?
That's what it is.
A
They don't wanna
monster
bother
can
with
grab her hair.
Yeah, monster crab.
It's dangerous. You never watched Walking Dead? It's
She might be
dangerous.
holding
You're
weapons.
right.
She
You're
might be holding weapons.
You
this
gotta
time.
chop the hair.
Yeah.
It's gotta be low.
Okay.
For real, for real.
You know,
From a tactical standpoint, that does.
But
make
that was a
sense.
great answer. Sally doesn't really care to see a female Link, but she's not opposed to it. But she's not gonna like write petitions for it.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Would you,
female
name,
Link.
would you name her Blink?
Blink? Oh man,
Blink.
That's what I heard when I left.
Probably Blink.
You should have stayed away for
Blink
a
is
couple
more feminine.
minutes.
Blink.
Really?
Blink.
Blink is a character in Marvel.
I
All
couldn't
right,
believe
hell,
it.
what is Blink?
I couldn't
Dude,
believe it. Blink.
Can
This
we?
podcast is heading south. We need to
Yes,
get it
we
back
need-
on
we
track.
need to-
I'm
go
gonna
back
be
on track.
honest. If I need character names, I will go somewhere else.
Thank you.
I got great
Thank
ones
you.
though. I got
No,
a
no.
great character.
No, thank you.
Just give me the personality.
Thank
you, yes.
I'll
Thank
snap it out.
You don't like
Yes.
Blink and Belda?
The Lincoln Belda.
I think we can tell any name is going to start with a B.
But
like,
they're-
what is that? Belda?
They're caricatures of established characters. But for original characters, I would come out with some pretty great names. Just give me the
Blink and
personality.
Belda.
I have nothing
Blink and
original.
to add to that. I
And
have
on that
nothing.
note, so tell everybody where to find you again, Sally, if you
Yeah.
want them to follow you.
We've got, if you Google Silent Game Studio, we come up, so that's the best place to start. It's got all the stuff about Life of Consequence on it, and links to our Twitter, which will also link to my Twitter if you want to see my random stuff as well as the game. So
The sheep.
yeah,
Nice.
What
Looking
is your
forward to
Twitter
it.
again?
my Elixir.
What is your Twitter?
Look up
By
Silent
Elixir.
Games.
No. Because I had trouble finding it.
It is hard to find.
It is hard to find.
Yeah,
I'll put it in chat. I'm gonna look at it right now.
yeah, that would be amazing because spelling it out letter by letter would just upset everybody.
Sorry, I had to go there.
That's too funny.
Any questions for us, Sally, before we depart?
I guess I just wanted to know your thoughts on the game. Like, what were your first impressions? And you like looked at that art and stuff like that. I was just curious as to if it would be your jam.
I dig it because I like Xenoblade Chronicles. I like the sci-fi with the medieval stuff mixed. You know, it's kind of up our alley. We like action RPGs. You know, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I love them. You know, it's like we have a long history with them, so it's just like.
Yeah.
And you said co-op.
And you said co-op, so
Yeah.
it's just like it's we're gonna play it.
Medieval
Absolutely.
and co-op had me hooked, and I like the art design, so I'm looking to see what's going on with it.
You had me at co-op.
Yep.
And that was pretty much
There
it.
needs to be more co-op in this world. Like, I don't know why it's
Seriously.
less
Yes.
popular now, but I'm like, please more co-op. Like, that's my
Yes.
thing.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
yeah.
Every game should have a co-op option.
If you
Yeah.
saw our face,
Amico.
if you saw our face when we heard that Secret of Mana 2
No.
was not.
man.
Trials of Mana.
Trials of
Biggest gaming tragedy
Yo, as soon as they
of
announced
modern
that,
history.
and the guy said, "I want to focus on the one player." There's 3 characters, and the game before was multiplayer.
I'm sorry, it's a sin. You're gonna take a multiplayer game, do a remake of it, and make it single. That's a sin. That's a sin.
That is not okay.
You can't do that.
Furious.
You can't do that.
Cancel it. No,
Why would
it's
you
not
do
good.
that? Why would you?
I still haven't gotten over
It's a
it.
beautiful game too. It really,
beautiful.
it's a
That's
beautiful
why I'm
game.
angry.
I played the demo. It's like, yo, the fighting system, it's awesome. And
Beautiful.
It's one player, but you got the 2 other guys AI running around. That's
Why
just.
are they?
Why are they
Why
there?
are they there?
Why are they there?
Why are they there?
Have it there.
They don't need to be there.
Why are they there?
Sorry.
So, A Life of Consequence, we're looking forward to it. The art really was
Yes.
awesome, like the design of it, and just the story, like everything you said about it is something that intrigues us. So,
Oh, thank you.
definitely,
That's
Sci-fi
great.
and
to know.
medieval stuff.
Awesome.
We
Yeah.
know it's a long ways
Can't go
out, but it
anything
looks
with
intriguing.
sci-fi and
It looks
medieval.
intriguing.
And the
That's it.
narrative is like a track. It's about water, and I get thirsty all the time. So
All right,
I'm-
no, we're going to cut him off.
Okay.
All right, you're done.
Yes.
Enough. You done?
He's in a drought right now.
You're done. You're done.
And just quick, like Assassin's Creed started with sci-fi and medieval, and then they slowly went away from that,
Yep.
Yeah.
and now it's just a default game.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing special about it. So the magic that does have does bring something new out of any title.
Yep.
If you
Yes.
take that away, it becomes
Like everything else.
it's
Stale.
default.
Yeah,
it becomes
comes
default.
everything else.
It's like
Yeah.
what was that?
Like it turned to 300, then it turned to like this Viking thing. Like it's not
Which
the
is kinda
same-
like 300
Not
again.
the same game.
Viking
So-
300.
So
it's like-
it
it's like
just
that's-
adds something to it.
Well, Dead Space was another series that I love. I love the first and second one, and then the third one, which is odd because they added co-op to the third one.
And they ruined it.
But it wasn't Dead Space. It was a good game, but it wasn't Dead Space. It was like
Lost Planet.
Live
just-
space.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
I'm
with,
sorry.
You need to stop with the bad
He
jokes.
sets him up.
It's terrible.
sets him
It's so bad and it derails everything.
Why does he do this?
There's always
every
one
time?
person in every group who does the puns and the bad
Yeah,
jokes.
he
Like,
has to. He
it's
has
not a
to.
full group unless you've got that one person.
No.
So
He's
you're
the one.
serving
He's
your
the one.
purpose.
He's the
It's
one.
definitely.
He's the one that does
He's
it every
ours, and
single
we're
time.
stuck with him.
I validated him now. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, we have no choice. We have to deal with this.
I can't deal.
But we're looking forward to the game.
Yes.
If you want to throw us a demo, we will definitely give you insight on what needs to be done or
Yes.
what is great about it, and we'll be happy to do it.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
awesome. Thanks so much. That's
All right,
super
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
for your time. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Yeah,
Sally.
thank you so much for having me. It's been super fun, and yeah, it's really nice to have an opportunity to talk about the game and get questions from people. So thank you to the chat as well for asking questions. That's much appreciated. That's
Yep.
super.
Yes, thank you.
We respect what you do. We respect your inclusion in the video game industry. It's awesome. We need to get more women. You need to throw women in everything. It makes it better. It really just does,
I agree
you know?
with that. Absolutely. 10
Absolutely.
out of
and we got to have you back on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
when the
love
game
that
comes
one,
out.
Absolutely.
We will talk more about Assassin's Creed next time you come on. Absolutely.
No.
If that's what you want to do, I'm up for that.
Just basic video game chat with you is awesome. So
But thank you
Until
so
next
much
time.
Thank
once
you,
again. man.
Sally.
Yep.
Thanks
you,
very
Sally.
much, guys. It's super fun.
all right.
Now get some sleep.
Oh man.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, Sally.
Take care,
Take care,
Sally.
Sally.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's a cool thumbnail right there. I like that. With the,
I dig
looks
it.
like reminds me of Dark Force, right?
A little
With
bit.
the mouth right there.
Well, that's the game, guys.
Yeah.
A life
that
of
looks dope.
consequence. That is the game right
I
there.
want to try out a demo.
Made by
I'm-
Silent Games, but will be very loud
Shut
in
up.
our
Shut up.
Oh my
commentary.
God!
Shut up! Shut up! Can you
Very
stop?
loud.
Can
Oh
you
my
stop,
God.
please?
I'm telling what these guys can look forward to.
Shut up!
We're gonna be talking
Just
and playing
shut
about
the
it.
Oh my God.
fuck up.
No, it's not happening.
I can't deal.
It's gonna happen.
Everyone, I apologize.
See what happens after all these drinks get on us.
Why?
See what happens.
Nice.
So hopefully you guys enjoy
All
the
these
show.
drinks. We had one beer and one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
What do
it
you
doesn't
mean?
matter. As soon as just any alcohol hits the system,
Anyway.
this happens.
And he bounces. You see, he bounces. He's
man,
like,
it's
oh,
good.
I got more. I
got
for
more,
you guys."
man.
No, you
Seriously.
have nothing.
And I
Yeah,
was
more.
drinking pure
You have
tequila, and I
more.
still didn't fall off the rails like
Yeah,
that.
like come on, man.
Once again, shout out to the chat. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you,
Hell
guys.
yeah.
Every week,
No, for real.
yes. We appreciate it.
And sometimes, y'all gotta watch Twitter because sometimes our show may start depending on the the people we have on, and time might change. But usually it's 7:30. All right.
Yeah,
Usually.
Today it was.
It's
special.
a different. Well, we're going by the
Overseas
UK
time,
We're
man.
going
We're
by
very
the UK.
accommodating to our guests.
Yes,
We're very
yes.
accommodating.
America's
to our
not the only country, so
that's
people
true.
have time
No,
differences. We
No,
are
he's right.
accommodating.
I'm a
He's
rock
right
on
about
that.
that. He's right about that.
guests. It's just how he says. Every
Yeah,
time he
it's
opens
not-
his
no,
mouth,
no.
I
I
feel
know
like
you're
I'm
on
just
edge.
going to.
Even-
Everything he says, I
I
just
know.
want to.
Even
No, no.
time zones in America. When Reggie messes up time,
When Reggie messes up.
when Radical Reggie
messes
messes,
up
up times, it happens in America too. So we gotta accommodate for when people want to come on to the show.
Shout out to Radical
Absolutely.
So
Reggie.
our guests, yes, definitely.
Yep.
We love you, Reggie.
But this is a fun podcast, guys.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. All time.
We always
really great.
have fun. And listen, every podcast we have, every guest we have, we always have a good time.
Hell yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
And you know
Hope
what?
y'all have a
Otherwise-
good time too.
If we don't, why would you do it if you're not going to
I
have
know.
a good time?
Oh, I've seen some podcasts where they're just not having a bunch. Damn.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's unfortunate.
I
I'm
see 'em
not saying
too.
no names.
I gotta
Seen
say,
them
but
too.
they'll be
I
kind
ain't
of
saying no
talking
names.
monotone like this the whole time. And
Well-
boring.
Stop it.
I'm
Stop
sorry.
it. Stop it.
But you know what? You know what though? I appreciate everybody out there who's been watching this podcast religiously.
Hey, if they want to
Every
come on as
Wednesday.
guests.
Every
Sorry, Myra
Wednesday.
loves the Bob Ross shirt.
Oh shit! Thank you
Yeah.
for noticing. Yes.
I didn't even notice.
Thank
he had
you
a
for
Bob Ross
noticing.
shirt. Good shit,
Yes.
Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah Maru. Thank you. Yes.
That's
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Pay
I try
attention
to
to
switch
detail.
it up.
He says he has that shirt.
He does.
He has that shirt.
Oh shit!
I honestly would have put
This is
my
a dope
face
shirt.
on
This is a
that.
dope shirt.
That's awesome.
You gotta put your face
love
for
it.
the afro.
You should. You should
I
put
should
your
do
face
it.
there.
I should. I should.
That'd be dope. I'm just saying.
But thank you guys so much, everybody out there who's been in the chat. We appreciate y'all.
We love y'all.
We appreciate the questions. We appreciate you guys showing up, watching us.
The participation.
Really, 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 we do appreciate all of that.
All that.
Give me all that.
Give me all that.
Give me
I
all
need
that.
that.
I need that.
No.
No.
Wow.
Where's that from?
Wow.
Where's that
Inside jokes. Anyway.
They know.
No, but if you want to see this live,
Caleb said.
if you want to see it live on YouTube, you can watch us live every Wednesday. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, wait, where can I see these guys? You can see us live
You're watching
every
us.
Wednesday.
Right now.
Every Wednesday, live.
Right now.
7:30.
7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Until we tell you otherwise.
Yeah, just about to say.
Yeah.
Unless we tell you otherwise.
We'll
Until we
drop
tell
that
you
post
otherwise.
every Thursday.
But you know how you find out about that, right?
on
our
Instagram,
socials.
Yeah.
on Twitter,
On socials.
On,
On
our
Facebook?
on our social media. You got to follow us on all our social media, and you will find out any
Information.
information.
You'll find
Knowledge.
information.
You'll find knowledge.
Knowledge.
You'll find out anything that's like, important.
Or not.
In your
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
I'll post
yeah.
some pictures of like joysticks and stuff.
Yeah. You do.
It's important
You do.
stuff. Right?
But you know what? Sometimes we have giveaways.
Yo, my analog system pictures were fire.
Sometimes we have giveaways, and sometimes we announce it on our social media. So you
Exactly.
gotta be all up in it.
And I
On that.
guarantee there's going to be a big giveaway next week.
Oh yeah. That'd be a good show. We
Is
can't
there?
talk about it.
I'm
Oh, it's gonna be a
Is
big
there?
show though.
I'm going to be
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
I'm going to be on the hush hush about the guests next week. You'll know tomorrow. on
If you're
social
watching
media.
this live
You'll know.
right now,
You might catch us on the run.
just know that tomorrow we're gonna announce our next guest.
big time, big time.
Our
Yeah,
next
buddy.
guest is
Wait, is it
Big things popping.
I can't say it.
Little Things
Little things
Stopping?
stopping.
yes.
I can't say the next guest.
That's yeah.
But we're really excited about our next guest.
Why did you say that?
We're really excited about our next guest. We're really excited.
Notice he
And
said yes.
What a S.
we're really excited.
Is that plural?
We're really
Plural.
excited. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
I'm gonna say we're really excited.
Two at a time.
That ain't the question. It's not it.
We're really excited about who we're gonna have next week. And if
Until
you
then.
want to know, follow us on all the social media, and also if you're listening to the podcast, you can listen to us on all the podcasting services
Like,
Apple Podcasts,
Like.
Spotify, Google Podcasts,
bang,
and all that good stuff.
Search level 857.
bang, 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 bang.
You'll find us.
But you know
We're
what?
everywhere.
Until next week, we'll see you guys. We'll see you all out there.
What's that noise, guys? What is that?
Until
Yeah, well,
next
was
week.
that a fart?
why you making fart noises in the mic?
Thank you so much for watching.
I made a stinky.
All right.
Love you.
All right, we out. All right, we out.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.